term this? Yes, this na term for all Salon people and them party them. Sierra Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like Salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour, and the Gladi program. Look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sierramedia.org. Now who's term these?
As we talk about burning issues ranging from politics to the economy, culture to sport, education to entertainment, corruption to the environment, we realize the Sierra Leone story is far from finished. So, Sierra Media Production brings you Zoom. Zooming In is the program that engages everyday people, entrepreneurs, inventors, entertainers, activists, policymakers, and politicians to discuss and debate issues relating to Sierra Leone. Zooming In digs deep into the issues and stories. Zooming In ensures the debate is pushed to another level. Zooming In asks those questions that has never been asked before. So, join me, your host, Chumaba.
When I was young, a lot of things were different. Unfortunately, most of the differences seen now are heartbreaking and are not good at all.
Before now, men were strong protectors of the weak, fathers, brothers, lovers, sons. Their mere presence guaranteed the safety of women and children.
But what do we do now?
Men harassing and raping women.
Men sexually abuse little girls.
Men battering and killing their wives.
Any form of sexual assault, be it rape, sexual abuse, or pedophilia, is a killer to human self-esteem.
Women should stop dying in silence.
Speak now.
The rapist should be stigmatized, not the victim.
I think death sentence should be the consequence of such terrible act.
And you mothers, build confidence in your children, put trust in them, listen to them when they make reports, and take necessary actions.
Talking of mothers before now, women were virtuous.
They were mothers, daughters, and sisters.
Nurturing, counseling, supporting their men folks.
But now, women are trafficking female children for money. Women are forced to be silenced.
All this must stop, and it must stop now.
Real men do not abuse, rape, or molest women and children. It is barbaric, unacceptable. Let all real men stand with us.
Together, let's say an emphatic no to rape, sexual abuse, pedophilia, and domestic violence.
Of all the crimes committed against a person, rape is the one that leaves the person feeling very violated. A rape victim is often left with the feeling that a part of them has been torn apart.
To use another person's body and ignore the souls that resides within is one of the most outstandingly shocking crimes that one person can commit against another.
Some men harass and rape their women.
Some men sexually abuse underage girls.
Some men beat and kill their wives.
Any form of sexual assault is unacceptable.
There must be consent before you act.
Being in a relationship is not consent.
If they are not sober, they can't consent.
Flirting is not a consent.
We had sex before is not consent.
Silence is not consent.
Only an informed, sober, freely given, ongoing and enthusiastic yes is consent.
Women should stop dying in silence.
A man does not become a real man by physically dominating a woman. A man becomes a real man by loving, protecting, and respecting the woman.
Real men do not rape or abuse women and children.
Let all real men stand with us. And together, let's say no to child abuse, no to domestic violence, no to all forms of rape, being it spousal rape, intimate partner rape, child sex abuse, statutory rape, date rape, serial rape, and gang rape.
We must rise up against this ugly trend.
Justice for one, justice for all.
All sexual assault must stop, and it must stop now.
I was raped multiple times by my aunt's boyfriend when I was 6.
I was repeatedly raped at the age of 8 by a close family member. I was raped at 19. I didn't speak openly about it because I was ashamed and afraid that people would judge me.
I was raped at age 5 by my caregiver's husband.
On June 17th, 2020, 5-year-old Khadija Sakho, a beautiful little girl from Freetown, Sierra Leone, was repeatedly raped and strangled to death, allegedly by her own cousin. Her death shocked the nation. But in truth, in this small West African country, 9 out of 10 girls experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. Think about that for a second. 9 out of 10. That's 90%. My name is Aisha Sase. I'm a journalist and activist. I'm joining forces with Idris Elba and other activists from across Sierra Leone to support the survivors of sexual violence with the Survivors Solidarity Fund. Please consider donating whatever you can afford. All monies raised will go to 4 local organizations currently providing free medical and legal services to survivors. 5-year-old Khadija lost her life to sexual violence. That same threat remains for millions of others. So this is also a call for you to use your voice, your power, to draw attention to an enduring culture of rape. Together, we must end it now. My name is Aisha Sase. I am Khadija Sakho.
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 We are Khadija Sakho.
We are all Khadija Sakho.
Hello, famulem, una adu, una welcome, una kushe, una good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning, depending on whose part in the world where you find yourself. Welcome to Sierra Media. Today, we're zooming in special on Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. Go the year, they go so small, but we tell God thank you for life. And last week, of course, we talk about, the COVID a year on since the lockdown, so many places and how it affects we. And we pray for let God continue for keep we alive and keep we well and pull this, pandemic away from where at least so we relate to ourselves and do the things that we would like for do without restrictions. So when we viewers, then we say thank you so much. Because without una, we not get program. As always, the team there, so we get special guests them for una today for come discuss this important topic we get for do it well. And please, una make sure say una send una questions, una make una comments, and because the people that we get now experts and professionals in their own right, but no, they're not getting monopoly over knowledge, possibly something the way you go talk where you think say not important, but go trigger the conversation for helping the debate and the conversation for we get possibly lost them way fit for Sierra Leone. I will tell you about topic when I don't see but la introduce to my co-host, Mr. T-Boy Duba, Sylvester Duba. Welcome.
Hello, welcome once more. Welcome everybody. And welcome for the new time and welcome for making you understand, all day with today with this hot discussion where Juma don't bring can to you and myself the rub skin next to him.
So you say na me bring and come, so you blame me.
Bring and come, okay, this now la reverse.
Yes.
Okay, they put me reverse gear.
Yes.
Welcome once more to this wonderful program where we bring cartoon today for me we love more
collective responsibility. Yes.
So when we do and collectively, it together collective effects.
Exactly.
Welcome once more, and we hope so we're going to enjoy the program today because we get specialists that really can talk about this issue. When are born in the issue, we get for affect to all. If we just don't know, we'll say to more to know do nothing about them. So keep your seatbelt tight, fasten.
Thank you so much. And we get Femi, of course, in at the back of the scene, behind the scenes, they're doing work. And it will definitely come to and say hello as the program they go on. And INSEF, I should say, it go each enough for contributes to the conversation and let INSEF be into with. Because I'm away, they like for way they talk, they say they talk soulful, they talk with sense, they get training, all that kind of thing. So, but I just want to apologize quickly for the change in time as well. I know saying a big change, but the reason being because the clock and the change differently in the world. So one for make sure say we make let everybody benefit small. So now we new time this will work with right now until we say otherwise. Keep the conversation clean, keep it quiet, and make sure say professional and not say quiet and respectfully, not attack anybody, share your opinion as you wish, but respectfully. So we topic for today, we say the intention of the Sierra Leone cyber crime or criminal law or act, is it protecting or is it meant to protect or oppress the masses or Sierra Leoneans? We all know, we don't hear about cyber law, criminal law, but we get for do with internet, phone, because what they talk about, when they say cyber, it involve anything where they happen now the technology space, as far as me understand and how you communicate, how you relay from your computer, your laptop, your iPad, your phones, telephone conversation, how you transmit message and documentation and things like that. We all know, see, the world advanced, salon they play catch up. So because of where technology new to we and all over the world is still new, you get criminal the way try to be they go broke na use for good thief. And they go broke na use again. Now they want for good thief na your email. They want for thief na your phone. So you get criminals and they so country them, they make laws them for make sure say them try for protect some of them things then they. Now, so we understand them. But Salon, we don't agree with you. Where social media now the new thing for we. And we all they participate. It get beaucoup benefits. But some people can cry back. So depending on whose partner the aisle will find yourself at a particular time, now you go gladdy for some law and you know go gladdy. So now that conversation they will get today. This law where they want for campus. How we get for affect me and you? We phone call, we email, we audio messages, we WhatsApp, and all of those things. We get 2 people and hopefully the other one will join me shortly for discuss this. We first, okay, we get with third guest with Mr. Abdul Fatoma. So we've senior lawyer, Dinayaso, Mr. Adi Macaulay, where we all sabi. We'll be see people and we don't make and say, the man a Batman, have no fear. Adi Macaulay is here. He will protect you. So we get on today with we. And we also get another lawyer and we community activist as well, Mr. Ahmed Sise, is heading out for discourse. And of course, Mr. Abdul Fatoma, we in a civil society advocate, activist, and practitioner. So they're all there for talk. Let's start with Mr. Adi Macaulay. Mr. Macaulay, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Juma. Good evening, listeners. Good evening, viewers.
All right. So we're not going to go far. Let's introduce Mr. Sise quick. Mr. Sise, are you safe? Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers and listeners.
You look extra young today.
Me? Mm-hmm. I just come off with on.
Now the secret.
Organic
Canada leaf.
Yes.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you. Welcome. And Mr. Fatoma go join Register. Is he here?
Yes, he is here.
They hide from me. Mr. Fatoma, why you they do me so? Left hand kind here. Welcome.
Juma, so many bars adopt me for that be Fatoma bar.
You see?
I'm not going to hide by any bar.
All right. Welcome. Glad to see you. And say hello to Wifambulen, please.
Hello, listeners. Hello, viewers. And the people that read the comments and the comment box.
All right. Thank you for joining us. All right. So let's start. Mr. Macaulay, you don't hear we topic and you don't hear we own question what we ask. Because when we see this thing about, cyber criminal act or law, we begin think, and for protect we bar as Sierra Leoneans, or na for oppress we as Salon people them. That now one. And we serve then at the space where this law go affect directly in a good way or in a bad way. So we serve interested in this conversation. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Juma. Your question is a very interesting one. My answer to that is that on face value, based on the bill itself, the presentation of Parliament, based on the policy behind the drafting of that bill, and based on discussions where Adoyeri, the Honorable Minister of Information, we the pilots, the bill law engaging. Of course, I also engage, a telephone dialogue, So my view is this, that we therefore separate the intention of the drafters and promoters of the bill and the real consequences. And I believe, government gets every good intention to protect the citizen because it gets the obligation for do that one day. As you know, technology don't change with lives for the good. You start from the internet to big data to algorithms. Aki sidon na mi desk na Freetonia and conduct banking transactions na any sign of the world. Aki sidon na Freetonia and shop any Jew wants na any sign of the world. As we see also now, first it is almost impossible for make we able for meet so in a virtual space, notwithstanding the barrier of distance with the between we. But technology don't make that one possible. Just a few days ago, we see NASA, they beam images right from Mars. You know, that is a very good development for the lives of each and every human being. But correspondingly, you also get attendant problems the way this technology carries. Even with medicine always get your own side effect. When I be small, if I drink chloro, my body go crash stay for the next 5-6 days and not go sleep. So now, so then technology are there. Then self get the problems, starting from child pornography to identity theft to homophobic and racist behavior on the net. I mean, you just see people go sit down, make audio about someone else and tarnish their character. So in the space we don't find ourselves, now the virtual cyber world, we also need protection, just like that policeman will team up in a PZ, will try for catch any bubble we want for finger pocket you. With PZ you flop. Now, so again, we need laws there for protect you in the cyberspace. So in that respect, we need the laws. And when you watch the various international obligations where the government of Sierra Leone, when I mean the government of Sierra Leone, successive governments of Sierra Leone, don't ascribe to give the obligation to the country for pass into law certain laws them way for protect individuals them and businesses and banks. And also not forget, Boku business then now when they come to the country, they engage in online and other virtual transactions. So they need that protection. And if you don't enact them laws, obviously you will get investors coming. I believe in that light, they, in good faith, the government and the minister try for pilot this bill. But notwithstanding, we don't look this bill with the one for pilot. We don't see the good things that we do inside it. We don't see also things that we do inside it where we get concerned over regarding with civil liberties and other rights that we Constitution provide, say we forget. So in that respect, I would say no matter or notwithstanding the well-intention of the government for protect we, the bill where they don't propose, there are issues where the bill we get for do with individual liberties and freedoms. And another particular issue there we come now this evening for try for talk about. And I just want to remind people and when they watch we and people the way they listen we. Let us don't view this bill as a political one. Let's take it on face value for what it is. Look at the content objectively and try for reach we own individual conclusions where everybody get right for do and engage the minister and government. Of course, that is what we are doing now. I shall say the people that were responsible for pass this bill, will they watch we now or probably tomorrow, we'll see what they say now. And we hope say they will take on board in good faith everything we will discuss here this evening.
Mr. Macaulay, thank you so much for that background, the way you give it. At least you don't put things into perspective. Why we need the law? Or you get so many benefits because of course social media, new media, technology is here to stay. And the new reality that and we get for acceptance. And like I've been saying earlier, Sierra Leone is still playing catch up. Some other countries then they far. So, but thank you so much. So there are a lot of benefits and there's a reason for building law. All right, let me go to Mr. Cisse. Mr. Cisse, welcome again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Right, so Yusuf na lawyer, you know about salon, you practice or you know more about the law now in the UK as well. And of course, the originators of them kind lawyer, mostly, Salon, they mirror the United States as well as the United Kingdom and other developed countries. So I don't know if you don't get the opportunity for, preview the act yet, and if you have waiting you get for say in relation to the question where we ask.
Okay, thank you very much. You forget one designation, working. Let wiki say me na imam. You can touch that.
The Oshek.
Anyway, yes, let me just give context, background for let people understand what we talk about. The Minister of Information a while ago, he tabled a bill in Parliament. He said the bill, his intention was to address specific legal gaps with respect to we mandate under the Budapest and the Malabo Convention, according to the minister. The Budapest Convention, this is a convention we will be enter into, we will not get cyber bill. So we're in a party of the Budapest and the Malabo Convention, and also the directive emanating from Supplementary Act on Personal Data Protection within the ECOWAS. So the minister say some of them bill all the obligations here we need for domesticate, and which is well and good. Now, he take this bill in Parliament for let go through the process. And the Speaker of the House, in your own wisdom, and I want to thank him for that, he look at some gray areas. Himself not a lawyer. So he sent the bill back to the public saying, it looked like say this bill gets small sideways you need for consult, although we not see consultation, but at least engage stakeholders and people that we concerned, and let we not tidy up the loose ends. So now we get this debate today. So I want to thank the Speaker of the House for that. Now, you ask whether this bill, now oppress, you want oppress we or it can for can shape with laws. I want to take the cue from me senior colleague, Adi Macaulay. The intention is clear. We need cybersecurity law. And for protect the country, cybersecurity infrastructures and ecosystem as the government, as them be say, they want to move to, digitalize the economy. They want to digitalize the economy. In other words, move from this paper to electronic transactions. And we don't see orange money, they flow, they have resell money, electronic e-banking. So it's necessary. Anybody will not tell you it's not necessary. But waiting, I not understand from the debate on this bill. People and they look at from a partisan spectacle. People and where they try for we put the tidy ends where the Speaker of the House expect we as the public for put, then they view, some people and they view with some amount of animosity. They say they try for oppose because why you didn't at the other aisle of the house. So I want to let people then forget, say, we they fight for them. And why are we fighting? Why we they fight? When I say we as Sierra Leoneans, we get domestics, the country we get a domestic obligation where they need for upkeep. Under we 1991 Constitution, Section 25 guarantee we the right to freedom of privacy and for protect we. And when they mean the freedom to hold your opinion and receive and impact ideas and information without interference. That is, we use Salon Constitution. And Section 15B also say freedom of conscience and expression. It guarantees we that. And then you can't do international obligations from we International Convention on Civil and Political Rights. It also Salon signatory. It also guarantees we right to privacy. And that privacy must be protected by the law. So if we now see people and they jump into defense for try for tidy up this thing. Now from this angle will they come up from? And when things go wrong tomorrow, then therefore come back to the lawyer and say, we'll not go defend we in a court. And you see one thing, the court always they sit down, they wait for their own role not to make legislature. But when the legislation come before them, so God then they say, then go get the natural meaning of the word, the literal meaning, how we say, even if it leads to manifest absurdity, they will give it the natural meaning. So now make no one go to that point there, now make you see with the try for intervene at this point. So the people, if they see people and they jump over this bill, I will tell you now the issues them will arise later and other issues. But I just want to give a background why they see beaucoup people, them human rights lawyer, civil activists, them for the jump for can't try for tidy up this bill. The intention not to foresee we not forget cyber security bill. It's far from it. We want it, and in fact we don't even let we compare how the trend they go right now. But we they look at all other areas, including the capacity challenges, procedural challenges, other areas where they can discuss. So let's just give a context on waiting really make we all they come on board for try for gloss list.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Mr. Cisse. I think we get Mr. Fatoma, they join we back. We now in the executive director for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International. But while Mr. Fatoma, if you did it, once you come around there, let me know. I'll get you. So in the meantime, I'll go to Mr. Macaulay back. Mr. Macaulay. As you the sweat first, but I ask now the conversation make you the sweat so, or you say be na the salon cassava leaf we don't eat or waiting.
Well, like a combination of the Sierra Leone cassava leaf, a combination of blackout, then me generate yourself don't vex for me this net. It's yeah, so all look vex for me. So I did and I make a sweat.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, against all odds, you are here to, share your experience with the people of Sierra Leone. See, we don't get Mr. Fatoma back. Let's get on quick, then I'll come to you, Mr. Macaulay. Mr. Fatoma, welcome again one more time. You don't hear about this new bill where you can't tell we now. We the people of Sierra Leone, we the people in our government and politics, who get problem at all now they go to, and now this blame back so are not fit for when things cannot go right. So you don't hear about this bill. You think say this bill so come for can protect we or it come for can oppress we? And in any of the where we take the conversation, tell me small why. Hello, Mr. Fatoma, are you there? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I'll be able to forget most of your words then, but I know the subject where we did talk on, as you rightly say.
Right.
We don't see the draft bill as an organization. We don't review, we don't see side and way we think say a very uncomfortable for modern day democracy and for any country we intend for protect in citizens. Important way we adjust law for let it address development, in our society. Almost everybody they use internet in any way, even the ordinary man or emergency or cyber technology for low transfer money, and another thing. Then cybercrime, they affect personal safety.
Well, family where they watch una be we until now Mr. Macaulay be don't say a combination
of privacy.
Right. So we get connection issue with Mr.
Macaulay. And also UK.
All right, what we go do, Mr. Fatoma, we'll ask you for mute first and possibly we'll ask, let's see if you go log.
Cyberbullying is very, very serious, afraid because I know say through cyberbullying, so many people then take their own life, and including picking them.
We apologize for that. It'll be under control. T-Boy go work with Mr. Fatoma for see if he go log off and log on again until we'll get better network. Mr. Macaulay, law go back to you. So you don't see the law, we not see it. You're a legal person, you don't see a whole lot of things them inside the way make you think, say, citizens, they need for talk about this and engage with government. And the minister used to say, glad the way the Speaker of the House asked that, the minister come back and can talk to people about this law. So waiting are the things the way they inside there, where you think say are the good thing them, and the one the way you think say they inside the way a bad thing they will for concern, but because you see Mr. Fatoma don't begin highlight say in modern day democracy, finally they pass law, they not pass law for come inconvenience people. Let me put them in a mild way. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, there are quite a few good things in the bill. As I said, we need to be protected. We they conduct communication through the internet and through data. We they conduct banking through the internet and quite a lot of other things where people they do, where they use this cyber technology. For example, Mr. Fatoma they talk about cyberbullying, racist and xenophobic comment them. You not go say because you're in a virtual world, you go bully people and try to make their life uncomfortable because they don't look like you, whether not by reason of religion, whether not by reason of their sexuality, whether not any other thing. And also, we don't see inside people that they hack other people information and telephone and emails, access them and do financial crimes. They basically engage in financial crimes that we don't cost a lot on the country and other people. So we need that protection, the unauthorized access. You talk about cyber terrorism. There are quite a lot of things that we inside the bill we can for protect me and you too. But again, we get a sacred document in the country where tell you say any other law we parliament will get the power for pass law, they pass. That law they for be consistent with the provisions of this constitution. Each and every law for make sure say comply with within the constitution say. And section 171 subsection 15 of the constitution tell you say when you get a law we're inconsistent with the provisions of this constitution, that law day is null and void to the extent of the inconsistency, meaning that you get this cyber bill, for example, where they want for passing into law. It get things that the way we feel say not consistent with within the constitution say. So that section of the constitution tell you say, as far as the particular part of that bill they concern, they are null and void. So now we can't talk about the bill where Parliament intend for pass proper. One, you get the evidence gathering side. We're not part 3 of the bill 9 deal with that. Then you get the offense creation side, where now part 4 of the bill deal with that one day. But as we get along, we will talk about all length in the day. But one of the things that will come to mind now section 4 of the bill, we tell you say this we you the scope, powers and procedures we therefore adopt in putting this bill will become law into force. Particularly of concern now section 4 subsection 2 of the bill. We tell you say when police then, through warrant, get access or seize a computer system, where according to the bill, computer system include your computer, include a laptop, include your phone, include your tablet, even include storage devices, data storage devices like flash drive and all of that. And if they seize their computer systems, then when they go to court, automatically it will become evidence of the court for the purposes of the trial. Well, that is very concerning for me, because in criminal law, issues of admissibility of evidence not only get to do with whether or not the evidence relevant to the case, but also get to deal with the procedure where they adopt for get access to the documents, the other exhibit, the other evidence. You know, this law don't say, as long as they seize them, they don't even inquire into how you then come across the evidence. It's automatically admissible for the purposes of trial. And when you go back in time, you get principles of law which tell you, say, evidence, even if you differ, it no matter, as long as it's admissible and relevant. As long as it's relevant, it's admissible, the courts they take it. But in civilized society, which I believe Sierra Leone is one, we don't move away from that kind sentiments. And like for example, in the UK, you get what they call the PACE, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act of 1984. And specifically, when you look at like Section 78, where they deal with improperly obtained evidence, we give the judges and the power for refuse for admit evidence where the investigators then obtain in an improper and dubious ways. So that is one of the things in way that law they can for put aside. For example, now, and the other important thing again, but the whole bill, including the evidence side, where they try for exercise, where the police they try for exercising powers. They don't make a distinction between somebody when a target of an investigation and somebody when not get nothing for do with that investigations. What I mean? For example, section 4(2), it say, in a trial of an offense under any law, the fact that evidence has been generated, transmitted, or seized from or unidentified in a search of a computer system shall not of itself prevent the evidence from being presented, relied upon, or admitted. Then you go to section 5(1), it tells you, say, upon an application by a police officer or other authorized person to a judge of the High Court, that there is reasonable grounds to believe that there may be in a specified computer system data, storage medium, material, which may be reasonably required as evidence in proving a specifically identified offense in a criminal investigation or criminal proceedings. This is worrying. Worrying in the sense that even if not to you police they investigate, even if not to you go commit an offense, if the police or an authorized person and the act nor define who an unauthorized person, well, I go assume say now people that will get investigatory powers, for example, like the ACC, the ONS, the FIU, you know, agencies of government that will get the powers for investigate crimes and other offenses. So if, for example, Mr. Juma Dena, a WhatsApp group, somebody in that WhatsApp group, they post something at that WhatsApp group, they way, now an offense under this act, for example, child pornography, for example, racist or xenophobic comment, then go to Juma and try for, get Juma in phone for see that particular post there. Probably Juma don't lost his phone or he don't delete the content. Now, they can ask Juma or go through Juma in phone and try for see who done and the other members of that particular WhatsApp group there. This particular section give the police the right for go find the evidence inside there, so they can come out and go to Mr. Sise in phone, they take an iron, go through Mr. Sise in private data or try for find that particular post where Juma don't delete na in phone, where basically Mr. Sise are part of the WhatsApp group. It's an issue. But again, I see the law say before the police they do that one day, police get for go to court before a high court judge and try for reasonably convince the judge, say we something there na a computer system, so and so forth in computer system where we believe say relevant to an investigation or a trial of a offense. So the courts now can give for the police, they go search Mr. Juma in phone. But again, you get subsection 4 of section 5, where tell you say, who say the police officer or other authorized person don't search specific computer where the judge give him permission for search under section 2. And he get believe, say the data where he look for, then somebody else in computer or in phone. Then this particular section say they give that police the power for go look that person there is in computer or in phone without necessarily going back to the court for go get permission for go there. So with me, we they call that one day it's a chain a search warrant where basically they give the police the fiat for engage in what we call a voyage of discovery. And that is completely against civil liberties. Because when you watch section 15, 1B and C of the Constitution of Sierra Leone 1991, it gives you the right to freedom of your privacy, protection of your privacy, communication and association. But in fact, that is not just the general one. You go to section 22 of the Constitution, where basically tell you, so you get rights to privacy of your home, your property, including telephone, electronic, telegraphic communication. So this particular subsection, section 2, section 5, 2, and 5, 4, basically they're in conflict with the Constitution of Sierra Leone, section 1, section 15, and section 22. So if we go back to section 171, sub 15, tell you say any law we're inconsistent with this with Constitution to the extent is that that law would be null and void. So me no would doubt if Sierra Leoneans then we get the fortitude if the ministry and the government refuse for taking into consideration the suggestion yeah we all they make them pass it into law. I'm not gonna be surprised if you get people away they go to Supreme Court under the Constitution 127 for go challenge the legality of some of them provisions. As I say, you cannot throw away the bathwater with the baby.
Right.
There are good things in this law. We get for support this law, but it's tied away concerning to we for ring and our government here should they go pull and accommodate.
Okay. Thank you so much for that education and information. I've been detailed enough. At least people don't begin get an idea with Italic. So I know I've been going to the other lawyer, let Piggy in, but we get to civil society man here, Mr. Fatoma. Are you there, sir? Mr. Fatoma. Yes, I know. Say yes. Yeah, thank you. Welcome. And I want to take over from Usa. You be left, and if you want to respond or add from anything where Mr. Macaulay said just now, because as you said, you listen keenly, you the nod. I don't know the nod whether I in agreement or in contention with what they say.
Basically, maybe me not been express me frustration on the internet.
Right.
And also they in agreement with some of the words that we, add and the references and way they make. And when they try for elastic and some of the dangers, the blanket dangers we hang over we as a citizens, if we allow, such a law, for go through. When they read that particular side, we give police the fiat for, draw an elastic rubber, forget, maybe the intention might be in this country we see, they don't want Adi Macaulay, but they want Abdul Fatoma. But because Abdul Fatoma and Adi Macaulay, they're in the same circle, Abdul Fatoma witness somebody will make a in that very circle. And because of the non-confirmed say Abdul Fatoma Day, the whole thing is to lock Abdul Fatoma up or for short term up, make him not come again and talk about anything we're very critical against government policies or thing where they chase certain particular people, them, not the public. So it just reminds me of the very part 5 we'll just kick out. We tell you, say the truth is not a defense. But when we go to court, we go for the absolute truth, but nothing but the truth. But we get a law in this country where say the truth is not your defense. And how? Several things wrong with this bill. If we really take for count step by step, it really of developing law for ensure say we do adjustment to the development the way they happen at every society. And Sierra Leone belongs to the global society. If we make a law, we stand for protect the privacy and the liberty of every citizen. Every citizen. If we get a law that undermines the protection and liberty of citizens, that law not to a law for citizens. And what do we see exactly this act, raise up? It just reminds me, say, we run, say we protect pornographic things and for letting not streamline. Yes, I'm interested in that. But they run for let we ensure, say, we characters are not assassinated. Yes, I'm interested in that. Like people like we every blessed day, and then people build every different kind of a story about we life when they don't know anything about we. So we need that protection. But it don't mean that say at the cost of that protection, we go put bleach by ourselves or caustic soda by ourselves that we whole body get for cook. Whilst we seek for, protection. Me not believe in that kind of protections and so we as a country, we need for urge each and every one of we MPs. Yes, Mr. Sisebin, the talk say, appreciate the speaker. Yeah, for slow and down, that's good. But then looking at Sierra Leone, we get 16 districts now as we map the city or from last statistics. So given go around the country and come up, for let we reject, because not to let we only debate, we for absolutely, outrightly reject this very attempt we as a citizens. Now if you, Juma, you get idea for can do business in this country, that's some of the ideas that they will for protect. We don't launch a lot of innovative ideas in this country. Young people, them, and we don't see the financial industry, they try for growth through e-copper mobile platform, and the mobile platform more reliable and get more customer than the traditional banks then.
Yeah.
We forget a law where they really protect you if they send money to you, if for be you, if you the rightful person where they send them to, that you forget her. But if anybody attempt for take that money away from you, we forget a very strong law, or anybody will attempt for create a similar platform, but the objective now for ensure say for deprive taxpayer money or people who don't work very hard throughout their lifetime, don't get them savings, them pension savings. Then somebody create a platform for take that money. These are the people then we protect. And then if anybody we want for ensure say they bring unrest now with different communities on the country, we forget a law where they protect between we and that person their intention by giving the police. But when you look now globally, politics take place in social media. And any country will deliberately advance for squeeze the political space na the social media. Now a country where, they far away from development. Because, if you want to do that, if you go block Facebook right from Silicon Valley or wherever the location is in California, if you go for YouTube, if you go for, if you not go for them, then they go for you. So instead of you go for you citizens. So we don't see this as a pattern from Africa. It's shameful for let's see government officials. They make reference to say, we know even better and good pass, this other African country. If you go there, you go see come on, man. We go into election for progressive gain. We not go into election for reversive gain. We cannot reverse. We cannot stagnate. When we go into election, you manifest to talk about, progressive promises. How you want to let the country look like within that 5 years period or beyond that 5 years period where the Constitution they give you mandate for. But then if you come in power and say, we need for control this, nobody not say we don't need for control lawlessness. But when you want for control lawlessness, you have to control, you have to be an example of that lawlessness we want for control.
Right.
We get a cyberspace, we'll get government officials, senior government officials, we recklessly, they make reckless utterances. Now the very social media we all they use. We get the same social media platform where senior government officials, they allow their relatives and friends for smear people them. And nothing else happen. Why they say we don't get the law. So now if you bring a law, we'll protect you because you didn't have power. But what if you not in a power and you want for kind of power? Then this same law, then take for squeeze you again. Then you want for shout say this is undemocratic. Or we not be no. You be no. Because the streets be there that you hand. And you think that say that only you for enjoy that part of the street. And the bitter side of it, that the man will not hold the street now for enjoy. It's not strange that's Sierra Leone history. When you look at the 1965 Public Order Act, when you look at the 1963 laws, 1965 laws, 1964, when you look at the laws and you look at democracy today, they are not fit for purpose in a democratic society.
Okay.
You look at the Constitution, it gives enormous power to the executive arm of government than the legislative and even the judiciary. Anytime I talk on this platform and other platform, I can always say, now the country this where the judiciary, they're under the hands of the executive. They cannot raise their head. They cannot handle their own budgets. They cannot operate, independently. I mean, somebody, official from the judiciary will tell you, oh, Mr. Fatoma, we are independent. Dana for them, and the one day they want to let them read the word independent. But when you look at the law, the structures of the law, I don't want to buy that very thing. And they say, let that person go to a judge. We don't see how expeditiously political cases when they're already and saying a high profile. I mean, but high profile where the courts get interest for letting remain beyond bars with less evidence. In the language there and say investigation is still ongoing. And nobody know when that investigation will be concluded.
Okay.
But when they know say they have interest in you, I mean, this is us, naturally. They want to keep you. They'll go run at you and ensure that say, if in 9 o'clock, that judge goes sit on 9 o'clock on it. 6 o'clock, first thing in the morning. We see that. I mean, they see some injunctions away then they lay on political party in 25 years, 15 years, 10 years, 6 months. It's still laid on now the registrar index. So mind you say, if this law came to be, the first casualty gonna be lawyers and we na activists them. Therefore be civil society activists them, human rights defenders, and therefore be journalists and political activists. That mommy or that bobo where they na attire base or where they ride Okada, go send a naked picture to somebody, not a problem that day. But if somebody do that, mind you, there is also a provision say, if you feel, is it annoyed or something else? If something else not really go down well with you, when somebody send the message. Now, if I go take money from you, Juma, then you want to collect me, then your method of collecting me, now for cost me for say, me na old monger, me na this, per audio. I can now take that distress message of you calling me names, and you not can directly ask for your money, but you add there for call names. That evidence I can share with police say, I'm very much unhappy with this one. If they forget first, but your money will get for pay you. Then I give you a problem.
Wow.
I mean, that we look progressive laws where they accommodate with all as a country. When me and you two go lay down and sleep and wake, say, if anybody grab the money for cost me mama, I'm protected.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Fatoma. Well, Udoyeri, Mr. Fatoma not going into the technical things, he just breaking down how the law relates to we and how it will affect we in a good way or bad way. But from what he don't say, the advocacy with me, Yeri, he say we for reject the law in totality. He agree say law good. He agree say, Parliament give opportunity to the minister for can talk to people, but waiting in things they inside the law. And waiting Mr. Adema call himself highlights the concerns. It show like I say, Mr. Sise, lawyer Ahmed Sise, people's lawyer, we don't check. So this situation from waiting Mr. Macaulay described just now, waiting Mr. Fatoma say, this law, it's all like a way you want for kill mosquito. Then you take petrol, you turn on a use, you crash match, you seal a bond, you want and you want kill the mosquito. That's so misty. What do you have to say? And I want you to give your own analysis on what you think inside the law way good, and possibly one of the reports on waiting you colleagues and comrades and the legal field and the advocacy field talk about.
Yes, first of all, thank you, Mr. Fatoma, for pointing out, say, the time with the speaker give for consultation is very short. I think not 2 weeks, if I can remember. The bill, yes, the issues then, Boku, any section where I look, if hinges on human rights, it go hinges on we own very civil rights or political rights, but what I can say, the first thing I will say this without no hesitation, that the bill confers too much power to the Minister of Information, where the bill give power for determine punitive measures and for bringing regulations. Now, if the minister is charged with the responsibility for bringing a bill forth in parliament, coupled with regulations, let me just jog your memory. Last year, March, we had a similar situation. We had, just for evoke a certain aspect of the constitution where the present power for bring emergency powers.
Say, emergency for health.
Emergency.
Yeah.
It will be backed by regulations.
Okay.
Now, then give them time for bring regulation. They accept the president they even gazette out without the regulations. And we know it happened later on. No regulations. Now, come back to the other areas who say Mr. Macaulay been emphasized on. You see, he mentioned the PACE now 1986, the Police and Criminal Evidence Acts in the UK. When you confer powers for the police and you give them the trigger for investigation, is reasonable belief. When you just look at Sierra Leone, if you go give a police, regardless of in rank, for let it go sort a warrant to a judge and come investigate. And then thereafter, the investigation, they linger on to, would I meet na the host? Like he can't me host, he meet me phone. He look me phone, he say, this investigation, would I get this number? I say, na me wife. He go to me wife in computer. Would I me wife, he see me wife, would I again involve, he go. By the time he left na house, he don't take all my new Apple devices. And guess what? I do a lot of transactions with my television because na smart TV. He go look back, say, no, the TV safe for go. And you understand how people they attach this day. Let me just put on from a logic point of view, how people they attach to their appliances they are. When some man their phone phone junkies, when you take your phone in hand, it's not like when you get a drug addict where they go without in shots. You understand? So if you go give police, salon police power, if you just mirror the traffic police, we get powers of arrest, or even traffic warden, where they don't act just in the execution of a duty, they enjoy the powers that is accorded to a police officer. That is all the traffic warden they get to. How then they misuse that? And then you go get a police officer, regardless of the rank, for execute this. You say waiting the trigger and a reasonable belief, then it's a problem. Then let me tell you about the core issues, Naya. We get, perhaps Mr. Lawyer Adi way more of on criminal proceedings. Me, I'm more of on civil and administrative prosecutorial rules. If you go get the burden, the evidence, the prosecutor always carry the burden for sure. Say, this evidence. Now, so I'll get what you call chain of custody, where they ascribe credibility, where they ask the integrity of the evidence, how the evidence worker, till it go end up in a court. You understand? So if you go tell me now, say me when don't go na court, perhaps I don't even get a lawyer where expertise na that area. If you go shift the burden to me for tell the court why they not for accept that evidence, instead of the lawyer, where can we go wait for show how he keep this evidence, how he maintain this evidence, and then you go shift the burden to me. We wake na money now, no get phone, no get TV, no get computer. Then for go tell that party say, this computer not even get Wi-Fi, not even get this facility. It not even get internet, it not get 4G, sir. Now ordinary Nokia, sir. Now you then give the burden. That is a challenge. And the civil and criminal procedure rules na salon, they're inadequate way come by electronic evidence. Even now we get issues of how we they maintain and present and how they preserve the preservation of evidence. Now let me mirror a common jurisdiction, na Ghana. When you see the Cybersecurity Act of 2015 in Ghana, what they do, first of all, they establish a state-of-the-art forensic lab. This forensic lab is able to preserve electronic evidence. And when it preserves the electronic evidence, nobody no able to enter another phone day for go enhance me publication. Let me say I write something where something me just write basic when no implicate me. But when somebody want implicates me now, who say they lock this evidence in the net? Police go open, he go inside my phone, he enhance that evidence, he tamper with her. In Ghana, the forensic evidence can be downloaded into a server. When you download this server and you preserve them, so the integrity of that server, you just need an expert witness for can tell the court the integrity of that server. And then that is it. The evidence is admissible. But in this day and age, and I can tell you, if I am retained to defend someone who is arraigned before a court, you understand? I go create the doubt to the jurors. I go record the judge in voice. Then I go give them a software where they mimic him. Even mimic Judge Donald Trump in voice. For sure, say, if this evidence is not preserved according to the propensity for tampering, for everything for 10 times, Illume, we not get that facility there. So now it make when you get this evidence, this this burden, you shift onto the accused, it make it more difficult. Now, section 35, subsection 1 and 2, we talk about cyber stalking. You know, Naya, the standard, the trigger point for assault, you get forget a reason. The reason therefore be a medically recognized, medically diagnosed condition. In other words, if you say your phone call cause me some psychological harm, we make unable to sleep or it annoy me, an expert therefore say annoyance is part of an established or the type of an established medical condition. But in this case, they not define what can amount to annoyance. They not define what amount to ill feeling. They not define what amounts to all the areas that they provide, say the amounts to an offense, and then go left and vague. So in the future, if somebody can, he send an audio where they make a feel bad, or they make accuse the government, things that I'm not happy, it's very easy for the person say, and the defamation laws. Defamation law, let me come into the civil part with me expert on. The defamation law, the burden where it put on public officials is higher than a private person. In other words, when I defame a public officer, the burden we get for proof say I defame or slander him is so high. You understand? Now, this law not make a distinction. So a minister where you curse or you tell bad word, he can just can't say, same way like how that woman Abacha, they come with grievance. Now, so the minister, they come say, this person, no, it don't make, I don't vex. Now, let me come to the most important side. Unlike perhaps Mr. Adi Macaulay and Mr. Fatoma, I'm a lawyer stroke politician. Now, to us, the political parties, the trap now is the proposed act, it criminalized a juris legal person. Wouldn't a juris legal person, for instance, if you then an organization, the person where they super, let's say Sierra Media, then Sierra Gem Media, for instance, whosoever they supervise, you the America, T-Boy de Naya, whosoever they supervise T-Boy can or could be liable for an offense if T-Boy go, like what you say, you can vicariously liable. You know, so in other words, if a member of a political party do something and is found out to the political party to which he belongs has not properly supervised that person, that political party or its head or some authority, however, it can be indicted for a criminal offense.
So then it's time for do a joint enterprise kind of thing into the thing.
Thank you. So now, imagine SLPP gets their own newspaper. APC gets their own newspaper. You understand? Those newspapers, when APC is in power, we only when SLPP in power, take and say we only silence. When SLPP come out, APC can the other newspaper. And then the main media right now, the mainstream media. Now, you don't move. I was so happy. I know I even stopped at some point and personally congratulate the Minister of Information, because where others have failed, he had succeeded for at least this bill go through during the era. But technically, this bill slowly, they repeal the bill where they repeal back the Public Order Act so they repeal. We all man not done it for dance. So God and he said that because that Public Order Act will repeal, it more focus on the print media. Because the law, of course, 55-year-old law na repeal. So then the computer know they safe. You understand, eh? So and remember the punitive measures of that bill, that 1965, now 2 years. In case you publish something where they define way seditious or libelous, now 2 years. Now this bill don't can put on 5 years. But this bill don't can put some kind nest over electronics media to some extent, waiting them pull back, waiting them take from the Public Order Act where they repeal. They don't slowly put them back. Then they want to let people then just phone their hand and say, oh yes, we're happy. Thank God we don't get a cyber security bill. So so far, I stopped so far, but I feel say, as they say, because I they follow on a thread, and that is the beauty of Sierra Leone media. A lot of people then they fet na corner we don't even know. But I just want to tell our audience, say, we are not here to condemn. Our duty as a lawyer is to the court. We for help the court arrive at equitable justice. And any side where we there for help the court, let them dispense equitable justice with the one. And that's not preclude this kind of debate.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Cissé, and thank you again. I'll come to Tiboy a little later. Just bear me small, because I know say if I start you on engine just now, where Mr. Nafatoma or Mr. Cissé talk about how people are so the intimacy where we get with technology. I go to bed with my devices because it's part of me. You know, everything what they do. If I wake middle night, I have to do something, I for grab quick, I jump and do it. Then now they can't tell me, say, police for can't take that and they can go. Or if T-Boy then go see something at T-Boy phone, then they take T-Boy phone, then dial a number, then my phone ring at him up near T-Boy, automatically myself as guilty as T-Boy. Eh? But when I go did arrest, people left. I don't go to Mr. Macaulay. Mr. Macaulay, you don't hear the argument, the conversation, sorry. And Mr. Fatoma says something that in the encourage for, let we reject this bill in totality. As a lawyer and as a citizen of Sierra Leone, as an avid user of, the new media, what do you have to say?
As I said earlier, we not go to the bath water with the baby inside it. Let we pick waiting good inside it, and let we throw waiting bad inside it. Now waiting bad inside it, now we talk about so. I'm going to be pretty quick.
Okay.
I still on the evidence, I go kind of the offenses. You look at Section 9 and Section 10 of the Act, it give the police the power for intercept with communication in real time. Tell, Africell, QCell, Mr. Macaulay in mobile phone, we want to record each and every telephone call we Mr. Macaulay make. Section 9, give them the power, say, where there are reasonable grounds to believe that data traffic associated with a specific communication is reasonably required for the purposes of specific criminal investigation, a judge of the High Court may, on the application by a police officer or other authorized person, order a service provider to collect or record traffic data in real time. So what does this mean? First of all, the things that we appeal on this particular section in Section 10. One, they talk about reasonably required, waiting are reasonably required and not tell we. Then Section 9, they tell you, say, that traffic data associated with specific communications. As I make earlier on, you no need for be the target of the investigation. You might not need for be the person who commit the offense. No, as long as the police there is reasonable belief that Juma phone gets thing we get for do it. That crime way are they investigate. They can go now to the judge. The judge give them court order for let them begin record you telephone conversations. You know what I mean? The unguarded discussions then what will they get? I mean, look, the problem will come out of the mayor of Freetown being recorded unguarded. It don't cause a whole problem in the country.
Right.
People have interpreted what she said in different ways, depending on their own, probably political, ethnic, you name it, group where they belong to. So can you imagine now where they don't have telephone? They talk what you feel for talk because I believe saying that you angry and the person they talk to, they listen that day. Now the police they get the power for order the telephone companies then for record the communication in real time. And you know, they go carry tell you say, well, they get for go to a judge, they go explain to the judge why they believe before the judge get it. I will ask you one question. And Fatoma raised that issue there. Who's 10 governments don't go to court for anything they don't get that?
That was gonna be my question.
Who's 10 governments don't go to court for anything they don't get that they deny them? You know, easy. So this is the starting point. But the most dangerous thing about this bill is that they don't make any provision for secure, confidential communication between client and solicitor.
So this sound
they don't make any provision for secure, confidential communication between a journalist and his source. They don't suspect, say, take for example, Africanist press. 9 days for draw bush na for draw rope na bush. Take babu de reach na tongue. They suspect, say, you know, that Africanist press man, they will suspect, say, now so possible they work na so office. They tell them the entire. Then they begin for basically record the people in the way they suspect. So now they pass information. Then telephone conversation. The journalists, we don't see in America where before journalists show his source, he go to jail. It don't happen in Australia, it don't happen in Boku country then. So it shows how sacred it means to them. I mean, if journalists then begin show their sources, begin reveal their sources, then they go out of business because nobody will believe them for give them any tips, you know, for brief them on anything where they believe, say, this Google talk, say, oh, nah, Mr. So and do up. And we get forget the journalists the ability, because if journalists do not get that ability for be briefed by people that we believe, say, things they go wrong, then we will not be able to hold the executive accountable. You know, but good thing the way come on I do. Now because one civil servant then na one corner we feel say, salon force. But what they happen is not to salon force. They go converse to one journalist where they blow the whistle.
Right.
You know, so these are the issues. I mean, making them in high profile matters. Say, are they defend somebody where they're charged with treason? So they say, well, if we want to really know within they go on with the communication between Mr. Macaulay and client, let we begin for listen to Mr. Macaulay and client and Mr. Macaulay in telephone conversation. So basically, when me clients they confess to me, say, Mr. Macaulay, me na so I do, but I no go talk na court because if I talk that one day, na me die one because the consequences for treason na death penalty. So now if they listen to me telephone conversation in real time, not a problem that one day. So we have no protection, and then get the powers for use that particular telephone conversation where they record na court in a prosecution against anybody for an offense. So when you take people like civil societies, lawyers, you get journalists, even politicians run the risk, because you know what thing? if I feel say you get information which will help me for get an advantage in the pools, and me in the power, me in the authority for able to get you telephone discussions. People will do it. You get people the way they will do anything for power, they will kill for power. So these are the issues where we get with this bill. I mean, I see Mr. Sise, they talk about Section 35. They talk about annoyance. You know, I just burst laugh. Because can you imagine, we get Section 35 where it tell you, say, it is an offense for let you intentionally send a message or communication where grossly offensive. They're not define what grossly offensive mean to we. You know, I listen to one music where they talk about, say, government nasty. Of course, it is quite offensive to government. So, am I still on?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. I listen to some music where some artists sing where they talk about government nasty, this department nasty, that department nasty. It's quite offensive. But I'm freedom of speech. I'm belief. I mean, waiting nasty to, nasty to the other person. I mean, just like, as I say, the mayor of Freetown comments them. You get divided opinions now the country. Some man will say, no, she was just making a narrative regarding one person. Some man will say, no. Now the whole tribe is there against. So it depends on what you mean by grossly offensive. I mean, they also make an offense for make you engage in something where they cause enmity and hatred, ill will, or needless anxiety. Well, this joke self not a day again. No.
Yeah. So what a plasticine now.
Joke self not a day. You joke with me smaller, they can't go police.
Wow.
So I believe the government will look into that one again. Then I see there is quite a lot of trumpeting about the protection of children, online sexual abuse. I mean, what I do was, I say, okay, make I go back to the Sexual Offences Act of 2012 and try to see if that particular act did not deal with within Section 38 of the proposed Cybercrime Act they deal with. When you look at Section 26 of the Sexual Offences Act, it basically deals with the production and distribution of child pornography. And distribution means either through online or by some other means. And Section 7 deals with the possession or accessing of child pornography. And Section 28 of the Sexual Offences Act make an offense for let somebody use child pornography for, pornographic purposes. So for me, why I don't look at that law there, I see say Section 38(9), a duplication of Section 26, 27, and 28 of the Sexual Offences Act, where a self-contained law when it deal with picking business and sexual offenses solely. So for me, Section 38 completely needless for let them pull and accommodate. Then you go to Section 40. Mm-hmm. Section 40, where basically requires, say, anybody where they do business, we get for do with computers, where they access internet, where they play games. Take, for example, everybody we get them back, they also they can go play them PlayStation and all that in the day. Then say, one, if we get registration, we register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Then two, if we register with National Telecommunications. Well, it's not good for small businesses. So, I mean, by the time we that bobo, we get that small buffer, they can go play their online game there, go do all their registration. Yeah, it don't increase in business cost. We basically it go pass and down to the one then we in customers the way they go play there. For me, we don't say we get for regulate the market, but make we look at things that we actually pose a danger to we, rather than an all-encompassing something where we don't make a distinction between. I mean, if it is not broken, don't fix it. So let we look at the things and way, na problem for where we deal with them. Then also you go to section 42, where basically, and rightfully they deal with racist and xenophobic comments. I make an offense for let you distribute or otherwise make available any material when a racist or xenophobic we get xenophobic content through computer systems. Then it also make an offense for make you insult publicly through a computer system or network any person or group of person where it based on their race, their color, their descent, their nationality or ethnic origin or religion. I mean, it is all well and good. Within this law not protect are the most vulnerable people in our society. Mm-hmm. And a society is defined by how they treat the most vulnerable people in their society. And I am talking about the mentally and physically challenged Sierra Leoneans. Whether a person mentally challenged, whether a physically challenged, they get the same right where you get, apart from, say, probably voting, because somebody we were considered for be mentally incapable not to vote. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, they get every other right way we Sierra Leonean they get. So I hope, say, the drafters of this legislation would take note of that and include them, say, let we protect. I mean, almost till they pass na teach, they see people in the video, people away mentally challenged. They pass with on a WhatsApp up and down. If now you picking, now you papa or you brother, you know good luck for let somebody you do that one day to them. So we have to protect those people as well. There are quite a few
Well, I'll cancel you back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll cancel you back. Thank you so much. You don't delve deep into specific sections and things. And the more they discuss and the more they see the dangers behind this whole thing. Well, sometimes the intention can be good, but the outcome, not the problem. But when on the scenario, we, you know, me I like to call things by their name. So sometimes we all this law day for what you call it. Because you say somebody feel annoyed, somebody feel upset. So if we get somebody like a minister, Lima, for example.
You don't say get somebody we get shot at, eh?
Yeah, no matter call name. The reason being because you know there is enough evidence for sure. It is sit on a media platform, they threaten people and say, if you say anything where this that will make them arrest you. They don't participate in social media conversation where they threaten people. Imagine this law not being there. So if this law there now, almost people there where it go make their arrest, and you're a deputy minister of internal affairs. How many people will go make the arrest because you don't feel comfortable, you feel upset, or then you think say they insult you with this kind, blankets kind thing. So this not problem. And you mentioned the Africanist press thing. So somebody mentioned at the platform we say that means say we're not gonna forget whistleblowers again.
Exactly. So exactly.
They bat in everybody's mouths, and you say you want to let people and talk freely and help government for succeed. Whistleblowers not against government. They are against issues where they affect every Sierra Leonean. So if you want to gag people because you feel uncomfortable, and like Mr. Fatoma stated earlier, you did it right now, but you can come out in 2 years, you can come out in 5 years. And this bad law where you make, or this law is something you make so powerful, come back to haunt you, what would you say?
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised because the president will get His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio, when he was in opposition, he was all for social media. He was very, social media good. They help the country. They make you connect with people, all of those things. So I hope he will not supervise a law like how Fatoma put we go come, turn people in for even joke with your neighbor self or your own family member. You're afraid. T-Boy.
Yes, Juma. Before you go to T-Boy, Juma, make I just get a few comments on some of the things that we Adi say.
Okay.
You know, not only America and the UK whistleblowers or journalists, you know, Tawase, they cannot disclose their sources. I mean, me, one typical example. Parliament will go after me for ensure that say I disclose who say I get me information. Take me to CID, and even when the police officers, they ask me, I tell them, say, I ready for die, but I know they disclose the sources, then why I get me information. And I'm also willing for them to prison. I know say I'm not going to be Mandela for 27 years, but I'm willing for them to prison at any number of time, any number of years, you know, months, all I want for keep me, but me sources, because I mean that not the whole thing. You get for make let people and get confidence and trust in you. You know, when you they give out sensitive information in the interest of the public. And you know, it talk about duplications. We also get the 1964 Police Act. We already don't give police them power. I think it's section 24 of that act. I know section 25 of that act. We give police power, say it can arrest you without giving you warrant of arrest. You know, and that act back. You know, it gives police so many rights. Section 26, they say empowers a police officer to serve someone lawfully issued by a court at any time during the daylight. But such warrant can be served, you know, at any time where a police officer has reasonable cause to believe that the person to be served is invading service.
Wow. Well, we just
so we already get.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean, we already give enormous power, you know, to police. The 1964 Police Act. If you read that one day, I mean, it probably even danger past this cyber thing we would talk about. Because if me and you two then are treated with the worker, they go down. The police not happy with that crowd, then get a right for arrest week and detain we, and then not tell we the time, the number of time or days we then would even detain we. I mean, these are all laws and way organization on the flag up and call the Sierra Leone government. So if we get any kind of bad things there, then we come back add. Like Adi say, you know they throw away the water with the picking together. But I want for tell and say, I mean, in a fulaton, Creole or Frobe man, I mean, me na Shabro man, but I mean, me say go talk the Creole parable small. You not go as well if you not throw the water and the pikin together inside the bath. If you put that dirty water the door with the pikin, that not mean say you not go drain that dirty water and put new water and wash that pikin back. So me saying that let we reject, that we urge the MP and say, make them no allow this bill for pass. Where it can hold back, these opportunities are all they get for discourse and assassination. We're able to get now the better one day where they can protect we all. So even the one that we didn't have power, if they then go tomorrow, then they will still remain protected under a very good law. But if they then go tomorrow, then MB this very local government will they fight for decentralized. You know, the story say where APCB day in opposition and say no, don't go by that other way. Then you know the one that will be in power, they say, "Oh, go this way." Now they don't come and say, "No, we say we no alone go that way." They game. It become during the result back. So man say, "Lord call a manual by spreadsheet or Excel." The other one say, "Lord count manual." I mean, same thing. But just because the movement, the one the way they then comfortable with the popular way they non-popularize things. I mean, they're very comfortable with that. So we, as a citizens, if we don't learn a lesson, it doesn't mean say where we call in say no, that will not go for that. Meaning we don't want that. From the onset, I say it get very good things with privacy, for stand against cyberbully, like putting at Macaulay say, cyberbully only come for the able man, but even the disabled people, they go through a lot of cyberbullying. I mean, the profile majority of we, even you, the moment you talk now, and they look at you, say you're not opposition person, you're not APC person, and no evidence not there for support that. Then because of the tribe or the region where I belong to, every small thing happens, people get for profile me, put with pictures and together with other people, and profile me based on the region where I come on. Even not the tribe where I belong to. But because of I come on at that region, then go peg me to a particular tribe from that region. And profile me family. I mean, that's a criminal act. So we want that kind of protection in it. But not the protection where politicians feel very insecure. If it's another insecurity only for protect, but not protect the interests of the people and the interests of the nation.
Right. Thank you so much for piggyback on the conversation and trying to clarify and advocate and say we for reject this law. Mr. Dugba, this now me space, now you space, now we all space. Imagine this kind of law. You thought all the gadgets then for go na salon. Then the policeman decide almost then they don't actually plan for arrest all the equipments them with this law no day. So imagine now if this law day.
Well, I don't know that for starts because
I see the scratch here.
I don't get headache, serious headache, because Mr. Macaulay, Mr. Sisi, and Mr. Fatoma, they don't give me extreme headache just listening to them.
But that's the reality.
No, well, this is not apart from the reality we know. Right? So if I think say the Minister of Information, I don't know whose side it actually collects in data for put things them into effect. Because few months ago, last year, he tried again for pass some kind bill where state say anybody will get any form of media practitioner in his system for declare himself na airport and to the Minister of Education say you are in Sierra Leone before you can even take a picture of anything we get for dude salon. But again, they muscle them out of that. But it look like for say anytime we the government come across any kind form of criticism on the media, they find a way to stop it from happening. That's not a bad thing to do. But I think they should focus more on the security of we cyber system within a salon first, because we cyber system is not protected in any way, shape, or form. And if you're not a Minister of Information and you not protect the cyber system where they operate on, it means it is a joke. That's one. Two, the current government, I don't know for the previous one, but the current government specifically, 90% of the mandates in terms of information shared is on social media. Appointments, discharge, replacements, procurements, anything gets to do with anything governmental is on social media. Not even government information technology section, but on social media platforms, i.e. WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the rest. So if you guys are propagating your own mandates and your own information shared to the public on this same platform, be it good or bad, and then you are using the same platform to stop information going back to you, I don't know what is the priority.
You know, T-Boy, that's in the continue, but let me say so, Mr. Macaulay, you have to answer me that question. If this law me feel annoyed by information, strongly worded press release where government issue out or a threat, if a cable for take them go, if they, let's say they put information out, with that information, they traumatize me. You understand? That information, they traumatize me. I cable take them go cut under this law. So you will get for answer that day at some point. Let T-Boy continue. But I just not going to forget. Continue, T-Boy. Sorry about that.
So if you say just what you don't mention, so don't rest me case in terms of basing my argument on the fact that we cyber system is not protected. And if we don't get a very strong cyber security for protective system, it means we are open to a lot of issues then we not even begin for envisage yet. Now, the user can say so. Now, because technology don't improve. Technology is not like a joke anymore. Because you get them picking and always having technology past even the adults then. But if we go take technology, put them in the hands of the police force in Sierra Leone, I don't know, do they have a cyber unit in Freetown Police or Salon Police? One question. If they have a cyber unit, who runs that cyber unit? Who is in charge? How is the content of that cyber unit is protected? Like Mr. Cicel said earlier on, do they have any forensic laboratory for protect their information in there?
I get a cyber unit with a few computers.
Well, again, cyber unit with few computers, it's open to a lot of danger. So basically, even this police cyber unit not gets the capacity for protect the small amount of information in the gather. And how do they get that information? Who said they save? Who said they keep? So we got to look at all the modalities. So I don't know who said the Minister of Information they collects them data that also for put them into law. But you know, still ask this question over and over.
Were you there waiting?
No, well,
simple case study. Mr. Cicel, come in just now. Thank you. Simple case study where you talk about cyber unit with few computers. We saw, you know, a high profile somebody was arrested, Dr. Sylvia Blyden, okay? She was arrested in police custody. Then somebody were related with her when a student was arrested at the same time. But Sylvia Blyden in phone, then at the hands of the police, in custody, but then Sylvia Blyden the text and call people then. With that phone, just for back on a conversation about how do you protect people. So you go plant
the integrity, the custody chain.
Yeah. So that board then take pictures. The board deny, said not to me, I not get them TN on my phone. But then force I say for answer, say them images here with the inside here, so this message now you get them. How can you do that? So then you they can't pass this kind of law. Anyway, Tiba, are you there?
I am.
All right, you know, I just bring.
I don't say Mr. Cicel one more thing to.
Yeah, two one coming. Yeah.
Okay, come on, Mr. Cicel.
I just want to say, I just want to answer you my question. Simple. You say if government issue a press release where annoy you, if you get the right for let you take action. Which I go guarantee you, if Abdul Fatoma and Alpha Chernoba remains your friends, rest assured you go get that message the way they annoy you. So the best answer is, before Mr. Adi Macaulay left this platform, you need for retaining service just in case. Rest assured. T-Boy asked who side the minister they get this data. One for the reason why I think this bill is necessary. We get a couple of treaties them way we enter, as I mentioned earlier, the Budapest and the Malabo conventions, these two conventions, and then the directives. When ECOWAS issue directives, just like here, we European Union issue directives to member states, we'll get for comply. So, but ECOWAS, in as much as they want make we domesticate some of the laws, them let we date up to speed with cyber laws. Now decide what we get for go if we agree. Now we last stop in case part of the legal structures, then get the ECOWAS court in case we get issues concerning bordering human rights. So now some of them here we they try for prevent, in as much as we all want cyber laws, but waiting at the scene here, now that Mr. Fatoma mentioned this earlier. Now we dey cry, and I want people then for keep this audio, for keep these images. because maybe sometimes down the road, where we the advocate so, if this bill, they not listen to it. Because one thing about Sierra Leoneans these days, when we they fight a battle, we na them we they fight for, we they try for protect the average Sierra Leonean, let them not trample the rights. Instead, if they look at from a partisan spectacle, say they are an APC, and no need for a reserve, they not like this government. But tomorrow, we table the turn. Now the same people then get for cry say, "Usa una been there waiting the."
Correct.
This bill is stand for dismantle all the democratic principles, all the due process na salon. The rights, the attorney privilege is the bedrock of criminal justice system. The privilege for let you clients able to confess to you or talk to you is the bedrock of the criminal justice system. You understand? It is so important as the rights to remain silent. You understand? And the presumption of innocence. So all them here, if you not get attorney privilege, and then you decide, say, because there's so much information where they flow. As I tell you now earlier, we do things to the courts. So we get something where they tell you, if we not say they're in danger to the state, we not get right for keep them, for tell the court or tell or ask you for take them public. But if we think say they compromise you give the right to fair trial, we know the disclosure. So if that rights they know they are a very big problem.
Wow.
But again, as we say, tell me one instance where you don't know this media, where a bill go na parliament, where them people they really want to make it pass, where it not go through. That is the only looming danger. What they fed so all, if them people are decide say no anything, one silence. Now the only opportunity this will get for silence are the bio. If we not do it now, but what you not forget, in the process of killing that mosquito, like where they take, where you say this, no, they light fire, you they light
you can't kill mosquito,
you they kill boku mosquito there. So to me, I feel say, one, the 2 weeks where they give for consult the citizens is small. And then secondly, I just feel say, because then say consultation. When they say consultation, it is an opportunity to bring in experts from different area of law. And this is a specialty, a specialized law.
Even they're not saying that they consult to, they say that they educate people, that they go do public education. Then they go sensitize. So then they go ask you your opinion, or then they go tell you what the law say, period.
That's the problem.
Wow.
This is an opportunity for ask people and for their opinion, because the law, just beside the law is riddled with common sense, with logic. Some people, you go see something like we not make common sense. The reason why we use jurors and trial, we want a layman point of view, because common sense they prevail from a layman perspective, past with the legal minded person.
Right.
So to me, I feel say, for the media for take this fight more, because personally, I know say this from a personal, me as a personal user, for let person come can record me data. It is going on now, even legally or illegally, it's a practice that is going on. They just want legalizer now and use them. So to me, I feel say the people that are within at the forefront of this fight are civil society and the media. So I want to recruit more people from the media and more people. It's sad we only have very few voices in our way they loud from the.
Well, the law not pass yet. People don't begin to wait for talk. Imagine where the law passed now. It's in go approve. I'll go to Mr. Macaulay. Mr. Macaulay. So that then question they were asked, then anything you are rebut on. But again, another thing I want to touch on, because with any kind lawyer and you don't see the dangers inside it, you say you don't even talk about the offenses they itself for. What is the possibility of creating an alternative bill where go look more friendly and user friendly and take the people into consideration, take we culture, take we way of life, like you stated, we get expensive jokes, you know, with people that now you cannot joke anymore. Take that retaliation kind of thing, say, okay, until you know this you do me, but you wait, I will show you that be. I go report you, say you send message now group one not happy. Then go keep you 1 week, 2 months, 6 months. If you face not fit, then send you for 5 years. So all of them things, taking that into consideration, Mr. Macaulay, you not think say we need to get an alternative bill? And if that's the case, how are we going to be able to do that? And tell the ministers, you know.
Yeah, first of all, Mr. Sise don't talk about various international protocols and treaties, the way we be part of, we don't require the need for past legislation where they deal with data protection. We therefore make a very fine distinction here between data protection and data harvesting. Data protection basically means that we protect Mr. Juma in computer from being hacked, Mr. Juma in financial information from being compromised. We get national assets we get to do with defense of the country. All the one that they get for be protected. But when you talk about data protection, then you go put something inside the way they do the right for go listen which other person they say for take something from them. It is not data protection, it is data harvesting. And the need for the law is not to harvest data, but to protect the citizen. I mean, you cannot give me with one hand and take with the other. I mean, at the end of the day, good do. If not that one no more, no protect me, no they go so no more. But on a more serious note, you know, I'm sure when I be no more than the 10 will be there in the height of at the height of the treason trial for Paulo Conte. I was basically woken up at 8:30 in the morning by a senior police officer, a superintendent. Mr. Macaulay, I say, yes, sir. I say, now I need to talk to you. I say, but my client, is it about Sylvia? Is it about Paulo? No. You know, you're a big man. Come no more. And I say, what I don't do now? I say, well, me just don't eat sukuli. I don't lay down. I try for sleep smaller week. But I was there. I was quite uncomfortable with the kind way the person talk to me, and I know the person in temperament, I know in propensity for abusing office. So basically, I said, okay, I come. And interestingly, that did the address for go inside cell. You are addressing for go work. I'm going inside cell. Oh yes. I reach now CID, then put me down, they take me statement, ask me question for over 4 or 5 hours. It's all about waiting Abu Shah, now UK, writing an article about Paulo in trial. We mention my name inside it. And the problem that one you. And they go to 5 o'clock. Yeah, but they tell me, Mommy, but you don't know it for take me. You don't take me statement as well. Oh no, wait till they review something. I say, but tell me if they put me in a cell one till I don't know. But I mean, they talk about it's very serious. We need to be protected as lawyers, as journalists, as civil society advocates. If we know then there'll be no civilized Sierra Leone, because now we no more get the fortitude for come out and say, look, against all odds, I will talk and basically highlight and trumpet the bad things that what they see. So in that respect, I believe, say, we for change the law. Make we take, for example, the issue of powers of the police for search and seize. Let we get a Criminal Evidence Act like the UK, where just not they deal with cyber offenses. They deal with all other offenses. Probably they enact a Criminal Evidence Act where they deal with every other offense where they are the law books of Sierra Leone. Therefore, not able to rationalize how to go about it. But you know, they go include all the one they did into that data protection legislation. You ask if a government press release. Unfortunately, when you look at the section, it says a person, government not a person, including a corporation, governmental corporation, a partnership, governmental partnership, or an association, governmental association. So now then people hear the law they against. Unfortunately, governmental one. But a political party will be one. Take, for example, if a political party put out a press release and call a section of the country terrorists, you don't annoy me according to this legislation. I can go report that political party in a police station or be coming to terrorists. They can't call me terrorist.
Right.
You don't annoy me. You don't insult me. In fact, I don't get a little bit of anxiety in me for calling me terrorist, we mean to terrorist. So all that here will get for take time, that trap with the set for that fox. Take till they not catch you.
Okay, right. I want to ask you one question. So let me ask Mr. Macaulay one question. Mr. Macaulay, with your experience na police, okay, let's come back on this bill. Assuming this bill don't be in effect, yeah? Section 5, subsection 7, we say police are culpable for misuse of section 5. You understand? For misuse of the powers vested to them under the section, the search and seize section. That was malicious prosecution. Say they are culpable to a penalty. What are your experience in terms of bringing police to, holding police culpable in a salon, in general?
Okay, like give me experience. When I was actively, because I am still the commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission, when I was executing the functions of that office, when I did catch police for bribery and corruption business, majority of the time, na CDI, I refer them because I get an understanding with the police, say, what will people they do bad? In a big encounter, we they deal with them. And to be honest, they deal with them far faster and effective than the courts for don't deal with them. But again, they just want to forget the one the way they did a bad name. If you go take bribe, they catch you, well, you're on your own. But again, how many times don't see on video where police they assault innocent civilians? How many times don't see on video where police they do something to civilians the way basically they against the laws of this country? Have they been held accountable? We are approaching the 1-year anniversary on the 29th of April, where we get more than 30 innocent people when are detainees in a Pademba Road got shot cold-blooded. They shoot them, they kill them. They will know anything. So now, if we know anything per mortal man, we then kill. Nothing will be per misuse of data information. Please talk about something else. Don't talk about this.
All right.
So your answer means, because you say, you're saying that if they take the disciplinary route, you get experience, but the conviction route for go through the due process, it's a dead end.
It's a dead end. And take for example, the police them, when it affects them, they act swiftly. When I remember that communication from police, we come out now do about the extradition of individuals from Guinea, including Dr. Sylvia Blyden.
Yes.
Within 1 week, the police they investigate, they arrest 2 to 3 people within the police system with them suspecting that then pass on that information. They were locked up, they were dismissed and charged to court. But they only do so because they believe say it don't damage their reputation or it don't pull secrets now the way they not be one make it come on do. But I'm not sure say if now ordinary civilian who make reports say police they misuse me data, it will get that kind of effect there. Honestly, I need police for protect me, but I not trust police with me rights. Based on the evidence what we get, I not trust police. The other thing about this telephone business. I don't dare na CID where somebody will go help somebody where they arrest na CID. Small arguments come up before they marry. They don't jog your phone na CID. They jog and say once you waiting there inside it.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of my lawyer colleagues them. When they go CID for go represent the clients there, and they say, "Paddy, I left my phone in the office. I go." Hey, because like you are vulnerable when you're there.
So this are the police then?
Oh yes, I they talk about CID. I don't think a CID where some relative and friend of a detained person go there, small argument and shoot, then jog your phone. They go inside it and watch waiting there inside the phone for a small argument.
Right.
Where they not be even get the power for do that one. They let you know now where they go carry get the powers. And I tell you, as a matter of fact, the experience we get with colleague lawyers, them, especially they tell them who they deal with Dr. Sylvia Blyden, treason, and other state offenses. Lawyer, they can't go them the telephone and CID. They left an officer, they bring in Clark team up and get, they left and get it. Because when you go in there, there's every possibility that they will take your phone and you're there within the midst of a police station. You cannot protect yourself.
Right.
So basically, this is serious business.
Right. All right, Mr. Fatoma, you are the police then, Paddy, because you get a good customer and the way gets a relation with them kind of as the way Mr. Sisi asked just now. You know, that particular law they for say if you feel like say they misuse certain things, if you get confidence, say, you know, justice go take in cause on behalf of your client or somebody with the advocate on in behalf. So you tell me now by this jog phone business and take your phone for go find more evidence for you know against your clients that we can go represent.
You see, one thing what they're on record for is calling things actually how I experience them, not only how I see them, how I
See, the internet, they trick Mr. Fatoma today. Okay. See, boy.
Experience them.
Okay.
The police in Sierra Leone, then a political surrogate.
You not sure say you don't annoy them.
I don't say that several times.
You don't annoy them more.
Majority of them, if
Hey, boy. Go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the internet. So, now they envy me, Stasi, say, very comfortable. You know, the police then at this country for far too long, and today, they're not a political surrogate, you know, to politicians. And when you look at the police structure in this country, it's a political sub-club of politicians. Look at the composition. The board will make the police council. The chairman and the vice president of this country. And the other senior man again, now the internal affairs minister. And the secretary, somebody where the president go appoint. Then the IG, when I know the chief executive of the police. I mean, he or she will just be in that council as a senior member, but not having a stake, you know, in seniority at the council level. Only when he return back to management, if he return back to management with instruction from the political big boys, and then he or she will be obliged to do such. Like Adi, they say, when you do CID, you are in another jungle. You are in the midst of lions. I mean, they can do whatever they think they can do. Not one time, not two times. We don't go for somebody there where the police and they personally attack me or another me. Then when you look at the emphasis I continue for make on the data data bill. I mean, this is not a data bill.
Okay. Well, there we go, Mr.
This government, and whether a serious breach in this country, we still get people. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, we still get a huge challenge on data protection in this country.
Well, we apologize to people with the fight for make strong laws.
So where I did talk about data bill present we now they not look get interesting with data protection. There are laws in the UK and other country. You they hold me information for a particular time where I give consent for. If you can hold me information for 5 days for attend a workshop, then after that 5 days, now you are responsibility for destroy that information. But after that 5 days, if I continue to get that information in possession, I can seek for redress. I mean, now this country where they see nurse they pass information about somebody we don't go test HIV positive and they try for get medication. A pass and give to a neighbor. If that neighbor and that man or that woman arrive per man or woman in HIV sickness confidential thing at the hospital, and then they take COSA. Or if you don't go, get some psychiatric issue, the hospital don't confirm it. Because somebody see in a psychiatric hospital, and they will be seen to a doctor. One part the nurse then and be treated. We see and so he head not full up, it creates, So you transmit somebody in personal data. And no law, no the way they protect we as of now where they talk in this country on denting and day. So the law way the government showing and they talk specifically about cybercrime.
Mm-hmm.
So data protection, they on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So the harvesting way they talk about, they also talk about. And legally, for far too long, we don't begin to record. We organization are the first way we raised this issue about 4 years or 5 years ago back. That we get 2 machines in this country. Each capacity are 300. And so now 600 people, then they log on the day and ensure that they listen and conversation. We get with partner in Germany, we are not afraid for telling them location because, they themselves, anybody will attempt for hack, they show, then they share the device with we, and they give the IP address, the location, even if you use black keyboard, for do anything towards communication system. We they able for locate you, and we know the device where you they use. Now then be able or disclose to we the security authorities that will be the attempt for hack into we system or another record or we another be a shadow to we emails them. So illegal recording and illegal data harvesting, a very deep in this country. And I don't know if because of that, then things say there's no need for bringing data protection law, where they protect how you they gather me data, how you they go store them, and when and who you therefore share that denting and they without me consent. Even you hold me birth certificate, you get for hold on for specific reason and for a specific number of time. And after that time, then they were me and you two agreed on, already if you continue for being in possession of a problem. When the issue come in UK, when partners and then girlfriends and boyfriends and begin end business, then the business can end up in social media, either WhatsApp or Facebook. UK rush for protect vulnerable people that will go fall into the hands of them wicked people in there. That if me and you today in a relationship I be share my naked picture with you, or you share your naked picture with me. I not get no right for share that naked picture na social media. Automatically, I do a criminal offense. I mean, that can clearly for sure how UK, government care about the protection of citizens and private life and privacy. I mean, so we look for laws and we're very progressive. I continue to emphasize that. Very progressive. Because only progressive law attract, development. But other than that, not retrogressive. And why people go look at and say, we more get interest in this because some people say, oh, you see newspaper headlines, APC want for politicize this. I mean, come on. APC, maybe you check them and not get the actual statistics. We are 7.5 million people. They are not 4 million people. And the rest are just, the 3 point something million. And each APC person, inside passport, they say APC citizen. Then say Sierra Leonean citizen. So it's not about APC. It's not about politics. It's about the people of Sierra Leone. And the government of Sierra Leone get an obligation on the national constitution for protect, Sierra Leoneans, the safety and the well-being of Sierra Leoneans. They also get regional and international obligations under international laws for ensure, say, Sierra Leoneans enjoy a fundamental right under the UDHR and the International Covenant on Civic and Political Rights, International Covenant on Cultural and Political Rights, and, the Convention on all forms of discriminations against women, the Convention on the Rights of Child, all of this, it get a lot of burden on this state for ensure, see, each citizen of this country and each resident of this country enjoy from, the obligation we both national, regional, and international law place on the government of Sierra Leone. So no politician, not get any power for depriving of such.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Fatoma. The way the conversation they go, I know so no go done on today, and possibly we might come back at some point. This same team here, sometimes I go do a little bit more, I do research a little bit more, I do engage with the Minister of Information. We also the Canton Chief Justice for Cybercrime. Indirectly, that's so me go put up anyway, because the kind of power we don't get, sometimes if we able to forget an answer, it would be nice for let's say educate and sensitize we. I will reach out to them hopefully at some point, and I hope they will come. And let me try for the roundup for today. But I would truly want for let this team come back and either on all or as individuals for Carlo continue this conversation, because it's very serious. And you cannot take away the thing that people don't begin to enjoy and we benefit. And there are more opportunities. You don't want to deprive Sierra Leoneans from the great opportunity where we get for use the, new medium and technology. So, Mr. Macaulay, you be saying they mentioned the offenses, but I not see you talk about them yet. Or I don't know if you talk about them.
Oh, yes, I talked about quite a few offenses. When they go through, you get a lot of offenses we get for the with racist and xenophobic offenses who I don't talk say the need for include mentally and physically challenged persons. We talk about I talk about section 35, where basically talk say even when you cause annoyance to anybody through your social media post. Well, see some of we can ticklish people and through Twitter. So for the ready for the go police, for the go make statement every time you tweet. There are various other offenses, but I mean, the offenses aside, I don't exhaust the area of the evidence gathering, because it's also another important area as the offenses. And I also talk about how section 42 not good for business, especially small businesses. We require them for register with NATCOM, register with Corporate Affairs Commission and all that one day. So basically, I should say we go fair another term for make we be able for exhaust the offenses then created by this.
So for today, what will be your parting message to the Minister of Information? to Parliament, the government, and the people of Sierra Leone? Briefly.
My message is this. One, take a sit back and think, say, just like other government in the past, that they come and go, yourself, they come and go. If the intention now for protect the citizens, all well and good, but let we look at it again for see how we want for protect, don't kick against some of the things that we want for protect. You can't let me pass myself. I say, thank you, but thank you, but no thanks. You want to protect me, but I don't want this. But if the intention now for use them against people that we not like, no say yourself go left power tomorrow, and the one day we go in a power no go like you, maybe no go like you, and they go use that against you. Then I don't listen to the Minister of Information. I mean, you must give unto him. He's a very hardworking guy. Strenuously, I don't see they go around quite a lot. They explain the goodness of the bill. Obviously, yes, he want for pass him under a name because a success as a minister and the legislation, the policy, the way you implement, so he want for do that one day. In as much as it's good for your own CV, it's not good for your own civil and political rights. So when you talk to Mr. Minister, take a sit back, get that moment of self-reproach, listen to what they say. We got the bill from Parliament, stop the sensitization and start the consultation. Accept the feedback, go back to the drafters, make them capture the will of the Sierra Leonean people. Go back in the Parliament, we all go and support them for pass a bill.
Thank you. To the people of Sierra Leone?
Well, as I say always, not everybody go accept or agree with what they say, but now you're right for disagree with what they say. If you want to take me on, you can get me on Twitter at Adi Macaulay.
Right.
We can continue the debate there.
Okay, thank you so much, and we hope for get an exclusive shortly, by God
okay,
power.
No problem.
So we'll get a conversation. So let's continue for roundup small, and Mr. Cisse.
Yes, sir. Me own is simple. I just want, first of all, I also want to thank the minister because, as he say, some of the issue the debate say they confer too much power for let him do punitive, prescribe punitive measures. His SFC to that say he doesn't want to take that, want to take that aspect of let in job, let any minister get hands for determine how for punishing company. So he subscribed to that argument there. I want to say thanks to him as well. I just want let he focus more on focus on offenses against the person to person. Let focus on computer and network intrusions. That the biggest worry for cyber crimes. Mm-hmm. The bill not focus on computer and network intrusions like hacking and ransomware. Ransomware now the biggest threat na internet today because there are over 6,000 dark web marketplaces selling ransomware, average $10 per ransomware. Mm-hmm. You could buy $10 ransomware and cause havoc, pull somebody to ransom. You understand? It's a $16 billion market per annum.
Right.
You understand? So let me focus on that. So I just also want to tell and say there is a tendency say this the cyber age don't differ. Make them pay attention to some nitty-gritty because innocent citizens they can suffer for nothing because these days somebody can hide in tracks, it can use a VPN program and a different destination. And how you go track that VPN day? You understand? So all lenting and then too, somebody can come near me and use me Wi-Fi, hack me Wi-Fi, use me Wi-Fi for commit crime. So if all them laws they are, no kind of simmer down for let the average man feel secure. We not get for cover every aspect of the law at this time. Bills are they are not set on stones. The law, legislations are made to repeal, to amend, and even to, if need be, for completely expungement from the laws. So to me, I just want to tell the minister, make him mindful of the human rights implications of this bill. And to the people of Sierra Leone, Leone no say, some of us will not, we're politicians, I'm a politician, but I will not mean I want politician we put Sierra Leone first, second and third, and then my political party. So when issues of such arise, I did look at from a national patriotic spectacle rather than partisan. So if me can today and try for advocate on behalf of the poor, the vulnerable, and other people, now because of one, my domestic obligation where the law guarantee me, that is the constitution, as we don't say, the relevant sections, them will guarantee me freedom of expression, freedom to privacy. And then secondly, let the minister try, let we enact again data protection laws. You cannot get a cyber bill where we not enact data protection laws again. Right now, if they try for enact data protection law, then go hit a deadlock because there is so much erosion on human rights on data where the thing will conflict. And Section 171 of the Sierra Leone Constitution will get for kicking because we'll get for go to Supreme Court for ambiguity. You understand? So that's idea. I just want to let the minister go further, represent the people. It don't do well for repeal the Public Order Act. You understand? It don't do well for even go far and enact some beautiful legislations we aim at guarantee we freedom of expression. Make it continue that part there and consult this bill and amend them properly. So that way they will all go live in harmony. Because to be honest, as I say, it will be get for be very, this one will get for be a net where they go put over everybody, including people where they home and abroad. So I want to thank our audience, and you among you contributors, there is a certain Janet. She's very, very prolific in terms of issues, and spot on. I just want to give her credit because she's
a legal practitioner.
And thank you, legally minded, and some of the issues the way they raise, it's a pity we're not able to debate on them. But she gets a salient point where it talk about how we they prosecute people and by Section 35 a lack of specificity. Because if why Naya for let you induce psychiatric harm when at the threshold for one of the assaults under crimes, you get for really get a medically diagnosed condition for make you able to prove it. So, but if me can say no more, they feel annoyance. Then no doctor no get for proof say that annoyance cause a damage and that damage is foreseeable. Then go convict somebody and go jail and 2 years or fine 10 million, then that's a problem. So yeah, I just want to tell you about thank you for bringing these issues and hope say we continue for Hammer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sise. I definitely know say T-Boy they listen. I can sabi something and they for to we say next week would they do this, but in this case, I get for consult with them, but soon we'll get to back for continue the conversation on this one. Let's go to Mr. Fatoma, then I can to T-Boy. And Mr. Fatoma, are you there? Okay, we'll not get to it. T-Boy. You don't hear everything we panelists then don't say, and I know say you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Fatuma.
Yeah. Hello, Juma.
Yeah, go ahead. So, what will be your message for today to both the minister, the parliamentarians, the government, and the people of Sierra Leone with regards to
the minister first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the minister first, the Ministry of Information. Lack the appetite for developed regulations on several, acts the way they before them, where they deal with informations. The one clear one where we get challenges with, that the right to access to information. Right to access to information, forget a regulation. The commission forget a regulation. And would qualify for requests for information without paying, and waiting at the role of the ministry and that of the role of the chair. As I talk to you, we be get issue personally with the right to access commission, and we be get for notice during the engagement.
Okay. We still get Mr. Fatoma with me, but you get the challenge with the internet not only. So I apologize on his behalf, and Law understand that are the reality, the complexities of Sierra Leone, but that's not the beauty at the same time. Mr. T-Boy, you will step in slowly while.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Fatoma.
All right. Sorry there. This internet they trouble me so much. Like we be raised an issue with the minister and the chairman for the commission about the absence of regulations. We clearly show would have for request for information without paying for the photocopy of those information, and in whose interest you request for such information. Other countries, the way they get their laws, and they straight away go and develop regulations them. So the general public, they get any conflict as to who responsible for what and when to do that.
Okay.
And the constitution of a panel, if the commission get a problem, also we they go lay the complaint. We not constitute that yet because regulations not there. So let's learn something like this where they come. We're very wide, and we require that. We see state of emergency, or we say things be freeze. Some of we campaign activists then run after. We say we look for alarm things. Well, as we go deep down, we see how police and the security sector they take stage in terms of being in charge of the state of emergency. Why? Because Parliament give the government the free hand for operate an open state of emergency. So, this same Parliament, we are blessed as a people for this particular draft bill when and say 14 days, and we don't make good use of these 14 days. We get public discussions on this, and we don't make the national appetite there for ensure that we look into this thing totally and good for make we go able to get a better cybercrime, bill or law. We go protect all Sierra Leoneans, not only protect insecure, politicians. So to the general public, we are always divided on every single thing, even by we surname them. And the moment I not talk something where sweet you and the political party where they follow, I'm that mean the civil society. But the moment I talk better thing where sweet for you, I'm that the only civil society now in Sierra Leone. And so we will always go continue forget that, but me encouraging is that the civil society world is free. Encourage people for can open. And if you not really be a professional, they get money for the professional work, for fund the civil society. Can open civil society in a salon just 1 year and come back to me. Attend Kuna.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Fatoma. Always happy to have you here and for share your views, opinions, and conversation. Let's go to Mr. T-Boy Duba.
Right. I think we panelists don't exhaust the discussion in so many different ways.
And say now, I do it deliberately.
Yeah, sure, definitely. And I believe we still able to exhaust the discussion to the extreme at which we look at them. But in the meantime, if the discussion don't start and we don't get the legal side of it, and we don't get the civil society side of it in terms of putting a mean to the ordinary man, or even though the legal side also don't state what it means to the ordinary man, both in advantage and disadvantage. Yes, we need a cyber system or cyber law we will protect all data and all interests. And we believe, say, if it go in the interest of the people, it's much more better than it go in the interest of individuals. Like one of the panelists highlights, the layman, like the disabled, way now one of the section of people in a salon where government they pay most attention to, are not covered within these rights. Where Mr. Macaulay make mention, say, people go to Sierra Leone, people they already salon safe. They take pictures and film them particular people there also without their consent, and it's still they against their own human rights because the data within the release of them is not with their consent. So I think the interest for me mostly for be data protection, wherein your data is secured and is maintained within a safe place where if you say now the convention and the way Mr. Sisebe the type of highlights is Salon going to within the ECOWAS Commission Treaty of what it means in terms of data or cyber law, which is fine. But at the same time, even though the international community don't give you the freedom for be part of them, but then also they give you the freedom for like we legislate and the way how we feel safe for legislating. I mean, the data protection will the happen in Europe, especially inside London, is extremely high, to the extent that it take more than years and years within the work on them for me to even use evidence of confiscating the mobile devices of, for example, rape victims.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's now one of the key evidence then we, the lawyers then with the defense rapists them in the court say we should actually confiscate the mobile phones of the victims because there might be information within that mobile phone where the state say these people are in a relationship.
Right.
Or discussion of such nature has happened. Where the civil societies then they really fight against because they say, no, you did now put the victim into questioning. Meaning, is it right for that victim to go through this kind of rigorous interview or questioning we will possibly aggravate the situation for make it even get worse? So these are some of the issues then we complicated within the reach of data protection in Europe.
Right.
We will know for say data system now one of the most biggest commodity in the world right now. We even you don't even need for get any kind of knowledge in how for trade them. But that's the biggest war we have in the world right now, data. And if we not get a protection device really protect we, I don't feel say we are ready to pass any kind of law we go protect the interests. Because like Mr. Macaulay say, he represents people of high status. So basically, if you don't have the privacy of your conversations being recorded, even though it is happening right now, but they cannot use it as any legal evidence against you. So what if they make it legit now?
Right.
So an assumption will even count to even we who are association with people that we talk to, people that we associate with, people that we interview, and they must have said something like,
T-Boy, are you there? Well, Alex, then they arrest T-Boy as well. See, they don't gag up small. Whilst T-Boy, they come back, and definitely the conversation again for continue, very interesting and important as well. Me want for say, for join with panelists them, no go, say they go wear this clothes because now you papa in clothes. You get for sew the clothes where they fit you. Because if not to that, you turn laughing stock. You know, the reason why they say that, because if one say like how Mr. Sise been say or Mr. Macaulay been say earlier, that, oh, the law for this country also better pass we own stronger than this one. You want make match up our law business. But not so they domesticate the law for suit them. You say, look at your country, you people, you dynamics, everything, and put a law we go work for the people. Not so, because what it seems like right now is the government against the people of Sierra Leone, the government versus the people, and it should not be that way. Femi, you ready? Because this time you feel as well. I keep you mute for a long time, and possibly Mr. Macaulay will learn a couple of things from you as well. We will help in arguments when the minister go banter over the phone. When you're ready, sir, let me know. They bluff with grammar school business, and they make them bad law them more, you know. So yeah, that big for say, and Salon people will not for stop for talk. Let we engage the process. And Mr. Macaulay, Ahmed Sise, and Fatoma, they're no more able for do all the talking. Let we talk. The minister not to enemy to win our party. You know, let we engage them as well, and let able for see reason why this law for drop. And with parliamentarians, and for sure, definitely. All today now, and if you're not on record for say you kick against this, means you're part of it, you supported it, and you wanted it to pass. So, over to you, Mr. Palmer.
Hello, Juma. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great stuff. Okay, first of all, I want to thank all the guests that we come and listen and watch with today. I want to thank our panel because I think they've been incredible. They don't teach you boku. They don't make it afraid. Although they make more reference to you, Juma, they don't talk say you for try for enlist the services of Mr. Macaulay because it look like say CID gets space for you. But you know,
funnily enough, Femi, for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing for work-related issues. Most of me things that I cover get for do with cybercrime, data protection, and all of them things. So I'm getting ready. I know Mr. Macaulay will represent me pro bono, definitely.
But it's shocking to see a few years ago this current administration were so big on social media, they were so big on information sharing, and all of a sudden now it feels as if then it's time for gagwe. I mean, I should say there is legitimate reasons then for you know, for bringing this law into existence, but really and truly, if you dig deep down, it look like say this and it's right for gag. Boku of we don't begin talk, boku we don't begin highlight all the thing then we trade you didn't hear because the mainstream media always seems to run the agenda of government and the agenda of the rich and famous. Now all man seem to get voice. You don't have to have the money, you don't have to have the connections, and you not get for dinner power for make a statement with sometimes go get a movement going, with sometimes go add to change or go begin change na the country. So for me it's a shame. Say the it's right for gagwe, and I hope say the people of Sierra Leone will protest and not allow this law so for come into existence. But if it come into existence again, I sure say we go find other ways. You know, the international bodies there, they approve of whistleblowing. You know, whistleblowers them are part of democracy. You know, they're supposed, as one of us said earlier on, they're supposed to be helping the government for make the government do the right thing. You know, not to say not bad. You know, if we go to, you know, Mr. Chenoba, for example, wait till they do so, they highlight wrongful things that will happen in government. And hopefully the anti-corruption boss go able to see some of them so and take action and investigate. And if they find out say not true, then no problem no day. But if not true, they don't do good for we country. They don't do good for all we people them, and they don't do good for we government, even though sometimes the government might not appreciate them. But in the long run, they will do. So for me, it's a shame that they try for Mozowi into speaking the truth, especially in this information age. Right now, we all for able for say waiting dinner we mind and not forget say somebody go car all we. Or we for able for carry around with devices them and not forget say if police stop we, then go take an we hand as evidence against we. Then and in a breach of we human rights. So I hope say Sierra Leone being a law abiding country could do better and not allow this lawyer so for take place.
Can I ask Mr. Macaulay a quick question, please?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Macaulay, if the law, this new cyber bill, cyber acts, they compel you for grants them access to information, i.e. they hold your phone, they need your password or your computer password. If you deny in pursuance to your rights to remain silent, and then allow the courts for draw an adverse inference and convict you, because thinking, let's come up from a political party objective, say if they access the information and the damage will be heavier. Waiting at the implication.
The implications are many. One, I would like to see Usai, the judge will draw adverse inference from your refusal for share your password to your computer. I mean, there may be some other thing we are normally you see other than fear of committing or being proven to have committed a crime. So it is not always the case that when somebody refuses to make, they get access to in device means, so then not even they will be of relevant to that particular investigation. But there might be something in that particular device we personal to them where, even though it might not be a crime, we go cause a grave embarrassment if any other third party see them. So these are the issues. And again, these are issues of human rights. Section 23 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, makes provision and guarantee each and every person the right to fair hearing. And that includes the right for they consider you for be innocent until proven guilty. So the mere refusal to give access to your device does not in itself prove guilt.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Mr.
Macaulay. You saying that, you see, what they say, people like you take a make kalu, but me I like for bring real life example. And I make something and they will force people let them go for arrest. Because let me say, if you jubilate for this law.
I don't do that and they plan for you, no lie. You T-boy. I'd make like Sabina one day.
That's T-boy fault. if you dare, you understand, you feel say you go support a bad law because you don't like Adebayo say the cost mami cost. Then you not like Chernobyl for the African Express and the right. But then at the same time, you say, when they catch them, then go wait to call up. Or your neighbor, he send one audio where you not like. You say then they use this law against that. This is not for just them few people and they you self did it. A member say somebody else will not like you go get connection at police. We say can go report something against you because a connection inside the same government. Let's say you're part of this government force. Let's say you even serve as a government official. You get another person inside government we don't envy your position. Go rob by you, then go keep you, they embarrass you. Because they don't arrest minister them before. So it's not impossible right now. They've arrested ministers for cases that they for do with sexual violence and all of those things. So you can be guilty as well. You could be unfortunate. Say you go they cry that time, they say, an advantage, then seize for me and all that thing, and you don't go far. And when you talk about the phone, some of us, we get one phone where they use for both work and personal. And my work business get for be protected. It cannot be seen by a third party. We not get a reason. So if you come, you say because T-boy, you not like quitting T-boy talk, they can take me phone. That's I know they give you. So you either get for kill me, or you can be going to Pademba Road Street. Now one of the two things.
T-boy, before he married Paul, he will go 5 years jail. But that phone, they know.
He not go do it. He will not. He will not do it. T-boy, go ahead and round up for me, please.
Well, I've been almost round up. But for some reason, again, we forget two concerns. One, access to internet. Then access to data and access to information. Basically, we they take this thing like a not a joke, but we they bring some element of fun inside, which is quite good. Because at the end of the day, people are concerned, but we don't know how much concern they have because they don't know how much of this will cause them any kind of concern with them will even feel say they are not even relevant to go to Sierra Leone or for even get anything for those because of this particular law. But we get to look at them in different angles and not say if it doesn't affect you today, it might affect you tomorrow or any other time. So look, we be mindful of how we look at this thing from a very different perspective, whether it's political, it's personal, it's private, it's business, it's legal, it's anything. Because your freedom of anything means more than anything. So if we don't give away with freedom and we put sentiments inside it, and we say, but let them pass the law, but afterwards, now the law, where the law can come? We have to be mindful. Look, we not just sit down and make that assumption. They say, now law, made them pass on. But to me, I think say we get to be in the position of trust, where we sometimes the person really next to you say, if you don't go to us, just like what in Juma just they say, you know what I mean, say if you day in governance somewhere, you know, the way of higher authority pass you, we go implicate you with something where you don't do, where it's seen at your phone, taking all of them against you. So there is going to be a lot of witch hunt behind this. Alex, if you accept or you don't accept her, it get for happen anyway. But what do you want for us to the law they're reading at the panel right now before we close? Now, how does it affect us or any individual winner of Sierra Leone descent, winner inside Sierra Leone? Are we going to be affected outside or only when you enter the perimeters of Sierra Leone?
Oh, Part 4 make provision for international corporations. It make provisions for international corporations, and the international corporations, the corporations where they put, including international corporation, mutual assistance in real-time collection of data. That's a good question. When you say mutual assistance in real-time collection of data, perhaps Salome, the police go tell Afrisel for Bog T-Boy. But yeah, how you can tell EE? Where we lost them for the privacy laws and are then so stringent. I can tell EE for C, international we law call for, because Britain is a member of the Budapest Convention. So under treaty rights, we get right for extradite person where we feel say now some person of interest. But extradition laws are different for and they not go that side. For pull person in England, even America one tire for extradite somebody there for Kirango. So law not just go to that side. But yes, it even make transborder access to stored computer data. In other words, back then go ask EE or the British government or serious organized crime syndicates for cooperate with them for access T-Boy in computer, which is challenging for them. They don't know say, yeah, for access somebody in private data, you get for go court, you get for justify the reasons, you get for be reasons of national security, and you get for show say this person, the reason why you want to see it outweigh a right, because the right to privacy are limited right. You get absolute right, you get limited rights. Yes, they are limited, the right to privacy, if they threaten national security, but you get for sure which aspect of national security we threaten. If you say this man cost minister, waiting and they get for do is national security. We can say, if you say cost president, then go say, well, if you're not able, can't cause for who prime minister, who don't have one mammy cause, one people already cause for we daily. So it's not a crime now. So the jurisdiction vary, even though the law make part 4 make provision for international corporations, but the jurisdiction vary for get a mutual cooperation, mutual assistance, especially in real-time collection of data for bug person, we person on the phone.
Mr. McCauley, you want for touch on that quick before round up, if you're still available?
On the...
how it affects we the diasporans. You are muted at the moment. You are muted.
It's not just limited to Sierra Leone. It basically make an offense any sign of the world with there, and it make provision for extradition as long as, when you watch the extradition section, it tell you say they can ask for extradition if the offense where they want for extradite you for now an offense back na the country where you day, and Well, you finish it exactly, and I find it very difficult how to go able to pull people from Holland, England, or America. I mean, if you want to get Adebayo, you want to get Jibril Bangura, you get a very it's insurmountable. But again, you don't make laws for people. You make laws to protect society.
Yeah. Lawyer, that was my point. We make a mention when we make a drop their names, and it was specifically for that reason. So if you make the law with the intention for target few people, there are going to be more people. And you
know, it is interesting for during the American election. You see analysts in CNN, they call one old president in America a fool.
Yeah.
All kind name they give Donald Trump. And he self turn back and call people all kind name.
Yeah.
Basically, I think say when people occupy public offices, it comes with the territory.
Exactly.
I mean, even as I did at this platform, by tomorrow morning, you know, me wife go don't send me. You can go down on our Facebook pages. You go don't send me the cost away they don't cost me. But again, it comes with the territory. If I don't want to let they do that to me, and they can at this forum.
Right.
So.
And again, you know, that they go again for, say, you know, you just can't stop people because when you try for eliminate that and the other one and go spring up, you know.
Well, to be honest with you, I've never been on Facebook. So when they can cost me, I say, well, the positive cost is the community suicide.
You need to see nothing. So
I didn't see anything.
Don't make laws for this not like a pub where you go sit down a bar, una discuss, una agree on something. No. Look at the whole 9 yards and in the interest of the country. That's
correct. Correct.
Yes. Please. Well, if we don't reach here, and Tibo, I hope they answer your question.
Well, yeah, my question has been answered. But now for Lucky, you just get collect no more, say no what you're protected. That's all.
No, we are not waiting that law they say, T-boy, waiting the law they say, if somebody can with platform, okay, on CRGM media, like how they get a conversation them, anything we transmit na ya will be held responsible because they use with medium and platform.
Well, all that they say to you,
yeah.
For me, they extradite you from America, can go salon. Not so easy task. So no worry no more, you're safe.
No. If I don't be an offense force now, America or England, if it's not an offense, you're human there. But just make sure say you know holiday.
Yeah, you're so right, sir. But that will get for good definitely in our country, you know.
Anyway.
Yes. Anyway.
But definitely that answers my question, because at the end of the day, we need to know whether the diaspora are involved in all this law within the past and so on. Because if you watch the majority of the law within the past on this cyber thing, now for muscle people from the outside, we don't get access for those salon. Because they don't know this salon, they're already been squeezed. So basically, you can't squeeze so much water out of something that has already been squeezed. So my own take to Sierra Leoneans, or my message to Sierra Leoneans, they're within a salon, I think when you stand up for your human rights, I think you must have stand up for everything that belongs to you. And if you don't stand up for something, then you will stand for anything.
Right.
Again, I want to make one reference. There is a serious issue where they happen right now in the Midlands in London. We get for do with human rights for protest against anything where they feel to say no right within the government system in the UK. And they've been on it for like a week plus. Every single day in the come out because then they fight for their human right for protest. And then they arrest them every day, but that's not to stop them because that is what they are fighting for. They are fighting for them not to be stopped, but exercise their human rights to protest against anything with against them. Just because government won't forgive enough powers. Again, the same thing they talk about so indirectly, specific powers to the police force will mean indiscriminately then can stop or arrest you or stop you for make you put up any form of rally or protest against anything because of COVID. And I think that's wrong. That is what they are fighting for. So as citizens of any country, your human rights, now your basic rights will nobody for take away from you. You could just bear that in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. With the roundup, I don't know if I go twist we panelists them for see if we're able to continue part 2 of this conversation next week.
Well, I cannot give any guarantees, but let's see how it goes.
All right, let's see how it goes. All right, Femi.
If they enact the bill, perhaps we will come without these amendments. Until una go review back possible action we someone go and pursue under section 171 of the Sierra Leone Constitution.
Okay.
But if amendments then they will bring into the public, we will induce a conversation as well. But as I say, my last word, I just say telling that some of us don't be victim of social media blast, but all I can say, my last word now that I may not agree with what they're saying, but I'll lay my life for protect their rights to say it under the Constitution.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Femi, you want to say last thing?
Yes. So I just been get one question for the panelists before they go.
Okay.
T-Boy been asked, say, if we were in the diaspora, so if we can get extradited. But I think, say, the more important question, well, I don't know if they may not answer before. Now, what if we left Yaso and go to? If we don't commit the so-called crime, within the say, in America or in England, if we go free tongue or if we go salon, will we be arrested for that day? And if they do that day, is it legally binding? We the offense within the claims that we commit, we do out of the country, we get the law.
Sometimes do I get for call for go pull you, bail you, let answer for you.
Don't get me going on public international law. Basically, we get what we call jurisdiction. Before now, they get jurisdiction. What you try for talk now what we call extraterritorial jurisdiction, meaning that a government of a country, they get jurisdiction for trying for crimes that will you commit outside of Sierra Leone, of that particular country. I will give you an example. When I remember the trial of Gary Glitzer, the rock fame guy, where we go na, I think na Phuket, somewhere na Malaysia or Vietnam, where he go engage in child pornography, then lock and day. As he reach back na UK, they charge him for some other offenses that we commit outside of the UK. So you get certain offenses where na extraterritorial offenses. For example, murder. If you kill an American citizen outside of the United States, it don't matter who side you go, they will bring you to book and try you in the United States because it is an extraterritorial crime, but it under what we call the effect principle. The effect principle basically means that although now overseas you commit the crime, the effect of that crime the way you commit now against one per citizen there. So no matter whose part you in the world where you commit them, we they get jurisdiction for try and lock you up. The other one, piracy. Any side, almost each and every country get rules. Then we say, even though not to my country waters you commit piracy, you can get arrested and charged in any other country. War crimes. You see what happened recently with the Liberian, the Sierra Leonean guy.
Yeah.
I think, is it Sweden or
Finland?
Or someone of the Switzerland, right?
No, Finland.
Finland, they get a laws then at the law books where say no matter who say you commit war crimes in the world, no matter whether or not you are Swiss or not, as long as you commit the offense, if you can't inside Switzerland, we arrest you, we can try you. So these are the extraterritorial crimes. And unfortunately, we don't get common issues them way Salondo add to that list of extraterritorial crimes.
Okay.
You know, I don't read, you take me 17, 18, 19 years back where I do public international law at university. But, you know, it's good you taking me back to...
Right. Thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome.
The way they watch, we tell on all thank you and we appreciate Tuna. And Una join me tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go there also for discourse. We know say we don't mark 30 years since we them in father first gunshot na salon. Now be March, we'll not be able for listen. We know some of the causes of the war. Waiting lead we forget a war, 11-year war, when I be a gruesome one. We know one for going at that level again. But at the same time, we have to remind ourselves. It's part of our history because we know go one for repeating self. So we'll get that conversation tomorrow. And next week, we will definitely get exciting programs on. Until tomorrow, we say tata.
Tata.
Bye. Thank you, God.
Now, who's term this? Yes, this not term for all Salon people and then party them. Sierra Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like Salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program, Look Me, I Look You. All this they start soon na www.sierragemmmedia.org. Now who's term these?
As we talk about burning issues ranging from politics to the economy, culture to sport, education to entertainment, corruption to the environment, we realize the Sierra Leone story is far from finished. So, Sierra Media Production brings you Zoom In. Zooming In is the program that engages everyday people, entrepreneurs, inventors, entertainers, activists, policymakers, and politicians to discuss and debate issues relating to Sierra Leone. Zooming In digs deep into the issues and stories. Zooming In ensures the debate is pushed to another level. Zooming In asks those questions that has never been asked before. So, join me with host Chumaba.
When I was young, a lot of things were different. Unfortunately, most of the differences seen now are heartbreaking and are not good at all.
Before now, men were strong protectors of the weak, fathers, brothers, lovers, sons. Their mere presence guaranteed the safety of women and children.
But what do we do now?
Men harassing and raping women.
Men sexually abuse little girls.
Men battering and killing their wives.
Any form of sexual assault, be it rape, sexual abuse, or pedophilia, is a killer to human self-esteem.
Women should stop dying in silence.
Speak now.
The rapist should be stigmatized, not the victim.
I think death sentence should be the consequence of such terrible acts.
And you mothers, build confidence in your children, put trust in them, listen to them when they make reports, and take necessary actions.
Talking of mothers before now, women were virtuous.
They were mothers, daughters, and sisters.
Nurturing, counseling, supporting their men folks.
But now, women are trafficking female children for money. Women are forced to be silenced.
All this must stop, and it must stop now.
Real men do not abuse, rape, or molest women and children. It is barbaric, unacceptable. Let all real men stand with us.
Together, let's say an emphatic no to rape, sexual abuse, pedophilia, and domestic violence.
all the crimes committed against a person, rape is the one that leaves the person feeling very violated. A rape victim is often left with the feeling that a part of them has been torn apart.
To use another person's body and ignore the soul that resides within is one of the most outstandingly shocking crimes that one person can commit against another.
Some men harass and rape their women.
Some men sexually abuse underage girls.
Some men beat and kill their wives.
Any form of sexual assault is unacceptable.
There must be consent before you act.
Being in a relationship is not consent.
If they are not sober, they can't consent.
Flirting is not a consent.
We had sex before is not consent.
Silence. It's not consent.
Only an informed, sober, freely given, ongoing and enthusiastic yes is consent.
Women should stop dying in silence.
A man does not become a real man by physically dominating a woman. A man becomes a real man by loving, protecting and respecting the woman.
Real men do not rape or abuse women and children.
Let all real men stand with us. And together, let's say no to child abuse, no to domestic violence, no to all forms of rape, being it spousal rape, intimate partner rape, child sex abuse, statutory rape, date rape, serial rape, and gang rape.
We must rise up against this ugly trend.
Justice for one, justice for all.
All sexual assault must stop, and it must stop now.
To my friend, she was the brightest at our level, even though she was as innocent as the heaven. That did not stop Papa Abu at age 57 to ask for her hand in marriage as she turns 11. Her parents, being naive about this rage, tolerated this marriage, and this destroyed the hopes and dreams of Kadiatu to live like it in Seattle. Instead, she's been used as a tool by an old school. Kadiatu is being used as a bait by her own mate. My friend has been emotionally tortured by this old culture. Old child marriage, it's on the rampage like disease, eating up the fabric of our girl-child image, and it's our duty to cage. Let diverge, please be obliged. It is now we emerge from this ancient custom at large.
If not for this dreadful event, Kadiatu could have become president, but now she has been trapped in an old man's residence, like a mosquito in a tent. She is vulnerable, but with her age, she is still able to become that virtuous woman of substance, like Madam Patricia Kaba, Madam Dr. Kadisise, Madam Sianyama Kooma, Madam Dr. Sylvia O'Blyden, Madam Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Oh yes, without child marriage, our girl child can still turn into Madam Hillary Clinton, Madam Theresa May. Be it as it may, Madam Condoleezza Rice, let's not be hypnotized, but rather stay wise, for this can only be realized if education is being prioritized and child marriage is being criticized. So please, parents, do not relent, as it is apparent that a girl child can become great if only you patiently wait.
Silverstone Beats. People killing, people dying, children hurt and hear them crying. You can
what you preach, or would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. People got me questioning, where is the love?
See this life when we live, oh, we all have to give, oh, yeah, yeah. Cause all I see is evil, and too much killing of my people, yeah, yeah. So let's bless one another, yeah, yeah. So let's help one another. I sing again, yeah.
What's in me, I don't see this kind of thing really happen. This not to be education opportunity. Now in we need, let we learn for the share, not to all time for big greed.
You see this life, the live, oh, is it where we lose or we know? Stop killing one another, let's stand together, yeah. Stop playing the hero, looking at each other like we're zero. On the block with the sea, money they can make every day pan free, yeah.
Alright, they took our boys, they take our joy, take our joy. This are the time we stop now crime. Don't blind bodies like your future.
Stop the stabbing, stop the killing. Let's love one another. Peace.
I see fighting every day, I see dying every day. Why don't we help each other and pave the way for a better life, a life that we all deserve? Instead of killing each other, why don't we preserve? So you wanna be a bad man, he's gonna be a badder man. You got a big knife, he's gonna get a bigger knife. Our people suffered for years in chains. Now we turn on each other, cut for gains. For the ones that send the youth to kill themselves, you pretend to be a father figure but only care for yourself. You are nothing but the flesh of the devil. You're evil, low life on another level. Think about the mothers and the pain they go through. You don't care for these kids, they mean nothing to you. But karma only knows the boomerang maneuver. One day the green reaper will be your remover.
This little deranged ranting of some sanctimonious food is as poetic verses, ruminate a prophecy given to a sentient dude. So I say it's as it is for you to listen and deduce the wisdom that's gonna liberate and galvanize you. Under the sun ain't nothing new, that for black on black crimes and breaking news. Under the sun ain't nothing new.
You gotta stand up, stand up for what you believe in. Gotta stand up for what is right. Cause if you got me, then I've got you too. Regardless of what you've been through, even when you're feeling new. Do this if we try. There's no time to waste, no time. Together forever, whatever the weather. Us as a unit working together.
See, I've been a long done, but me heart still at home. God don't lift me up, but me heart still at ground. You will never go far if you don't know where you're from. So I don't do it for myself, I'ma do it for the young. Plead to my brothers, let's do it for the youngest. Why spend a bag on a jumper? Back where you're from, people dying with hunger. With people then they suffer. You then I argue the bluff, it's copper. The game need for change, like we not get up. Where's the love? Where's the love, yo? Where's the love? I said,
where is the love? Little youth, let's take time. Stop all the knife and the gun crime. Think of the future, paint that picture. Get a youth in the future. Peace gonna rain on we. Peace gonna rain on me. Yeah.
Let's stop the violence and come together. Get rid of knives and guns and bombs, let's be together. Pray peace and love, God and hope through storm and weather. See what is going on. Where is love?
tell me, how do you feel when you see your brothers and sisters lying down the street helplessly? And what will you do if you die today and find yourself in hell?
I want to ask you this. Look inside your eyes and answer me with all the truth. Where you get, whose side the love they?
When I left. Boku man them get nef. If you live by the nef, you go suffer. You know get sense, you know sabi say nef not for butter. Stabbing guys, yeah that's uncool. When it comes to knives, yeah I'm anti. What happened to fighting guys with your hands, G? When you stab a man, it's not one man you stab. Just remember that you stab a whole family.
People killing, people dying, children hurt and hear them crying. You can practice what you preach, or you will turn the other cheek. Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above.
Famous. No, yeah, yeah, See, where are the sing so good? Now me know how to feel. Where are the sing so? Now me know how to feel. Ain't God, you just see them the millet. Why she come in just a better? You see them no more the millet. Why so the man to return for? How you gonna live this life just for the fella, another person now? How you gonna live this life just for the fella you brought them in down? Ain't God, yeah, lily, lily, yeah, yeah, lily, lily. See, oh God, this thinking make I wonder why me no for carry gold. Hey God, this thinking make I wonder why me no go get you. Hey, this thinking make I wonder why me no go get say. And God, this thinking make I wonder why me when you know say someone them get savage, them get sour right here round them ways. Oh God, someone them get smelly, them get to where you know go know. Famous. I don't know whose I have forgot. Now this wall we're full of wickedness. I don't look left and I don't look right, but your man can tell me say some problem can there. Now for look under your foot, look under your foot. Look under your foot, mama, look under your foot. Now for look under your foot, look under your foot, yeah. Look under your foot, mama, look under your foot. Ah. Oh God, this thinking make I wonder why me no for carry gold. Hey God, this thinking make I wonder why me no go get you. Hey. This thinking make I wonder why me no go get shit. And God, this thinking make I wonder why me when you know say someone them gets me, them gets to right here on their ways. And God, someone them gets tight, them gets seven where you know go know. Hey, famous.
You are talking about top up?
Big Boys Connection. Loud more. 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 Big Boys Connection. Loud more on the beat.
Mr. Future, that numbers. Oh, you they jealous? Oh, you they jealous? Hey, you they jealous? Subject to your subject, man, it's mic, I just go focus. Call me Caesar, with them hate, I call them brutals. Trust nobody, disciple, biscuit Jesus. I got in touch with them fake friends, then I pay for me, I scissors. I kill this beat to jealous. I nights kept singing jealous. I'm making this money, I'm changing this game, so nigga shut the hell up. Scientifically, my lyrics are inventory. That's why I get the fake body you want and me. You talk about class, I own the school, you regulate. I write the rules, you just the sweep, I own the broom. I hot like sun, you call like moon. Trust me, I'm blessed, man, beyond the cost. That's why you got me asking. You they jealous me.
My life is a honey, I'm stuck in the money, I'm top in the game and I'm balling. Yes, I got married and I'm a daddy and like a Ferrari I'm running. I love my family, BBC with brothers, not to party. We making the money, you want me to die, make with the cham Gary. Oh, you they jealous? Oh, you they jealous? Hey, you they jealous? You they jealous? Yeah. Why for you go for me better one? Why for you go where they on top? Why for you go where I get money? Why for you go for me better one?
Touchdown in 94. I'm the fresh prince going hard on these niggas. Let me drop the bomb. The game need change. I'm the big money. Big boys connecting the building. We get new money. Word from the streets. Now me the one see. So many fake niggas. Now me the one be. You lost already. You not Trump, nigga. We going hard. We got skills. Still 6 shots to the belly. Fuck the beef, nigga. One eye on the money. Call me Fetty Wap. We ballin' every day. We not Talibans. Red cops in the club, by the baddest. SpongeBob niggas, they tryna be the hottest. Walk around with girls, call me Jim Brown. Niggas claim me king, I sleep with a crown. Jealous type niggas, we ain't even dating. My niggas eat every day, we got greens, nigga. Dark shades every day, we know the sea niggas.
My life is a honey, I'm stuck in the money, I'm top in the game and I'm balling. Yes, I got married and I'm a daddy and like a Ferrari I'm running. I love my family, BBC with brothers, not to party. We making the money, you want me to die, make with the cham Gary. Oh, you they jealous? Oh, you they jealous? Hey, you they jealous? You they jealous? Yeah. Why for you go for me better one? Why for you go where they on top? Why for you go where I get money? Why for you go for me better one?
Pam pam pam, Mr. Future, I'm the only one. Why you for hard to if I kill this bitch with my son? Let me ask the question, which rapper quit the tension? I don't hear me start for rap, it's I put niggas on the tension. When you see me, you the stress, jealous because I bless. I talk you the obsessed, while you the hate, but you go rest. Took you beef, me know the eats, nigga, you can have your exit. I am the ruler, body you not opposite. Me now your teacher, children time for hot mentor. 111, I got phones for your call center.
Every day's a holiday. We're chilling and balling Monday after Saturday. Every day's a holiday. We're chilling and balling Monday after Saturday. So Mr. Jealousy go die. Oh, you they jealous? Oh, you they jealous? Hey, you they jealous? You they jealous?
My country, baby. It's a long, it's a long. Now we're doing this. Cloud Thomas.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful home. We fall like onto the bone, cause if it were, side we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful home. We fall like onto the bone, cause if it were, side we go. Everybody me say well done, if we always country so strong. Everybody me say stand up, if you like salon say yeah. Then say yeah. Then say yeah. So good in the morning, the land is just gloomy, the moon is going, the cloud is forming, the cocks are crowing, dew is falling, the bags are coming, everybody running inside Switzerland today. The land is yummy, see the mommy they cooking fufu, the party smoking cigarettes, Rajo they watch baby musu, way they find out the country rest. Right in West Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean, inside this land, so much I can boast on. Look at the good plantation.
get meditation. Make me not wear this nation. I get LOVE for me alone. Yeah, for me alone. Love for me alone. Sweet alone. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it went, whose side we go. Sweet alone. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it went, whose side we go. Everybody missing well done. If we all this country so strong. Everybody missing stand up. If you like salon, say yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Then say yeah.
Sierra Leone was an hello place where sweet like gold. We got diamond box, I silver and gold. So that we make count for the young and old. I mean for like we serve, help we serve. Also you come for the bars, you want for butchers. Peace, love and unity, now for boot first. For the jealousy and watch, or that don't make sense. Togetherness is one, but wait for we success. So get up and go walk, and sit down for the top. Or criticize the government just for mix up. But stack on the bill, so we need for put stop. Life for hustle for you all, no matter how you struggle the bone. This life without pain, not easy, not in the zone. Just forget to live in who myself can go slow. We like to say I go, I never forget about this all.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it well, whose side we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it well, whose side we go. Everybody missing welcome. If we all this country so strong. Everybody missing stand up. If you like salon, say yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Then say yeah. Say, sweet alone how we each and every one God take care of his own. We all remember say, this country now we each and every one for take care of us alone. I will exalt thee, realm of the free. Great is the love where I get for salon. I got enough track of one for maintain this land. No matter the situation, I get love for salon. I got in up every day, no day pamphlet. Blessing up picking of school, make it go land the boo. I don't owe me all like farmer, put the country pattern for any attack. Me the way me boo. I got in up every day, no day pamphlet. Blessing up picking of school, make it go land the boo. I don't owe me all like farmer, put the country pattern for any attack. Me the way me boo. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it well, whose side we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone. Cause if it well, whose side we go. Everybody missing welcome. If we all this country so strong. Everybody missing stand up. If you like salon, say yeah.